Okay, we'll do a sound check while we pick some maps. Blood Pine Woods is a good one. Okay,
Little
we'll do a
test.
sound. Yep, we can hear me just fine. How's everybody doing? It's been a long time. Haven't streamed in like 4 whole hours, so that's interesting. Blood Pine Woods is a good one. The Lost Crater. And Carrick Asgal. Our maps. Hey, Adelma. Smalls, where are you? Sorry. So, what's going on? What's happening? I probably shouldn't introduce a video as if you all know. You can all see what I've seen. Live screen. Boom. Challenge. We are in the Tournament of 13. It is... I usually host a lot of meme or silly tournaments with special rules so that people can kind of have fun. But my community did occasionally want to actually try hard and have a big old fancy tournament. So, we hosted this series. We have hosted 2 of them in the past, with Ice Power and Chosen One taking those 2 qualifiers, and now we'll find out the 3rd, and I'll host the 4th soon. Once you get into playoffs, what you get by winning this tournament, you get money. Woo! Money. Everybody loves money. It's just how much do you get? 4th place would get 10, 3rd place gets 20, 2nd place gets 50, and the 1st place player of the playoffs gets 100 fat dollars. Yeehaw. We are in the bottom bracket, as you can see. We have Hadries and Killing Smalls. And on the top, we have Void Laws waiting for the winner of Houseplant versus Samurai Style. Should be a lot of fun. We are in here with Hadries. We told him the map, and we are waiting on Smalls. Yes. Is Turin still streaming? I thought his clan war has been done for a long time.
1,000 G's, baby. 3.
Oh, okay. I don't know what's going on with that clan war. I saw the 3v3 a long time ago, and I thought that would be the end of it because that was at the end of the schedule. But I guess they're just flipping things around. Well, if Turn's streaming at the same time, this is going to be a rough one viewership-wise. Alright, this is getting a little weird. Smalls!
I'm coming.
Okay. Alright. Smalls is RTK, so we were in the RTK chat before this game. Oh boy. The rambunctious peoples. You will be picking... Oop, okay, Smalls is here now. Hadries is first. Maps are Blood Pine Woods, The Lost Crater, and Carrick Asgal. And I do have a blocker up. Yes, I do. So I cannot reveal Hadries' builds by accident. That would be bad. And another motorcycle is going to pass by. I might have to close that window. Indeed, Adelmo. Indeed. Alright, I'm going to close the window. BRB. Stop. Water. Okay. Hadries has switched over to Chaos. Maybe they are considering that for the first pick. Be interesting. I know Hadries is a Skaven player, but last couple times I've played with him, he hasn't picked it, so don't know if that's just a me thing or if he's sick of the glorious rats, which would be quite tragic. Hadries will indeed start with Chaos, ban Dark Elves, and Wood Elves. Killing Smalls, I am pretty sure they play a lot of Empire, but from what I've heard, they do not enjoy Empire into Chaos, so probably going to switch factions here. What they will play instead? Unsure. Maybe High Elves. Maybe. General Hadries, you are a bold one. True. Okay. I mean, Chaos is good on a small map. Maybe Hadries didn't want to pick Skaven here, because it's a medium small map with half of it covered in forest. Though we did leave up Beastmen. Maybe Hadries has some secret Chaos tech versus Beastmen on a map that favors them quite heavily. My dudes, I'm nervous for tomorrow's faction war. I gotta play Skaven. And that's spooky, because the one other time I played Skaven on the faction war, I faced Dactor's Norska at a time Norska wasn't so terrible. And I got countered immediately and murdered, and it was bad. And I'm not, okay, well, the matchup's not the most favorable, but it's not like, I got counterpicked, wow! It's just, you know, Dactor played better, his build was really good, I had never seen it before. And he bum rushed me and kicked the shit out of me. So now this time I want to do better. Want to get some wins on the big stage, and I'm facing RTK Houseplant, who knows, well, they disagree, but I have practiced Skaven and Empire with them a lot, and now they know my builds, and I'm like, well, delightful. And now I'm stuck in the spot right now where it's like, well, do you come up with something new so they don't expect it? Or do you stick with what you know works? And it's like, well, I've refined my builds over hundreds of games against Empire, so I'm pretty sure they're pretty good, and I don't want to wing it on something new and turn out that it's bad and have a bad showing. So it's nerve-wracking. I've been thinking about it a lot. Killing Smalls is going to pick Bretonnia into Chaos, usually a counter matchup. Interesting. I played this earlier against Sharks in this same tournament. I tried my Foot Squires build. Foot Squires, some basic knights, charging forward with the Fae, double paladin. And I had been playing that for Poland a bit, and it felt pretty good. But then against Sharks, he took a Hell Cannon and forced me forward. And that build really doesn't do that well when it's forced forward. Yeah, when I was playing for Poland, it was nice to have my archers counter-firing a skirmish cav, getting pretty good trades there, then my cavalry could run wherever I wanted, but with a Hell Cannon being added to the mix, I had to run up, and it was just discombobulated and bad. So, we'll see. We'll see what Killing Smalls is going to do. You can usually see Questing Knights here. I personally have been struggling with them recently. Every time I take Questing Knights into Chaos, they get like 200 to 300 value and die. But maybe Smalls can make them work. Maybe. Alright, looks like we're going to get into game one. Let's do this. Other side of the bracket still sorting itself out. Houseplant and Samurai style fighting to see who will face Void Lulls. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. I was worried there was an issue. Try to remind me, anybody in chat. If vampire counts come up, I gotta remind the players that you can only take 2 corpse carts that aren't heroes or lords, because there's just, I don't know, recently tournaments have been doing that because of all the bugs and stuff, so I gotta try to remember to remind. Anybody who plays Vampire counts that, so we avoid rule issues. Man, every day we find more bugs. It's not great. It's not great. Okay. In the game, blocker come down. Pichu. For Hadries, we have... looks like a couple Chaos Warhounds, one with poison, one without. We have 2 chosen with halberds. 5 Chaos Warriors with halberds? 4? That was hard to tell. Looks like 5. 5 Chaos Warriors with halberds, 2 chosen with halberds, 1 Soul of Damnation Hell Cannon, 2 Chaos Warhounds. We have Prince Sigvald the Magnificent, a Chaos Sorcerer of Fire with only Burning Head, and a Chaos Sorcerer of Death with only Spirit Leech. Pretty simple build. I'm surprised that Hadries went halberds instead of just flat Great Weapon spam, but maybe he likes the halberds more. For killing smalls, we have 2 Mounted Yeoman Archers. We have Knights of the Lionhearted, Knights of the Realm. Other than that, a Questing Knight, Knights of the Realm, and on the other side, I'm guessing we have 2 Knights of the Realm, another Questing Knight. 5 Peasant Mobs. And we have the Fey Enchantress and double Paladins. Pretty standard stuff. For the Bretonnians, you love to see it. Soul of Damnation's probably hoping to shoot at archers and rout them off the map, but there won't be any. I wonder if he'll immediately target these skirmish cav, or if he'll just ignore them and hope their shots don't do that much damage. We will see. I think the Bretonnian build's in trouble, probably. There's no good infantry. There's just 4 skirmish cav that can try to take out all these halberds. I don't know. I've really liked recently the foot squires for this exact sort of thing, where they just walk forward and they trade up against halberds, honestly. They do pretty well. And you can give them a little healing with some earth bloods and they can actually push through. Okay. But the hell cannons here and in my game, as I said, they really don't do what I want this matchup to do. But I brought more archers, obviously. There are no archers on the other side. So maybe this won't affect smalls as much as it affected me, but these little dwarves certainly gave me hell. Alright. Looks like both players are ready. We are good to go. And the dogs are in the far vanguard. I think they're going to quickly realize there's no archers for them. And if they get spotted, they'll be run around the map by those knights. A proper micro can maybe get them to escape, but I imagine if the knights just focus their efforts, they could come in from such a spread that there would be no way out. But, I mean, if you do that, if you fart around that whole time just trying to catch some dogs, this hell cannon's going to shoot at you for free. And it already gets a great shot on the paladin, doing more damage than I would have thought to a single entity. And I have a message in Discord. Is it important? Nope. Nope, nope. So we can continue. The hell cannon's still firing at the paladins, it looks like. And wow, it hits again. Another nice homing shot there. Yandi R, good to see you. Good to see you. Mounted Yeoman Archers are going to run up aggressively once they realize there's no counter skirmish cav to really fight them. But wow, that Soul of Damnation doing so much damage to the paladin. He's actually going to need healing pretty soon. That's surprising. That's okay. You learn something every day. The Chosen, the trees have been discovered. Now they're getting kind of poked at, but it looks like a lot of those shots are either getting deflected by the trees themselves or the 120 armor. Paladin's already down to 1/3 HP. That is tragic. Hell Cannon is going to switch its fire, though, onto the Wardens of Montfort. Nuke about 4 models there. Good lord. That thing's going to have great value at the end of this game. Fey Enchantress is now about to get embroiled in some Chaos Warriors with halberds, but nope, she jukes away at the last second. Looks like she's just trying to avoid Sigvald for the moment. Skirmish Cav are firing in. They're just not getting very much value onto these 120 armored units. Ugh. It's looking a little scary for Bretonnia right now. Hell Cannons, man. Apparently strong against chivalry. Chaos Sorcerer of Fire is going to pull back, while some Chosen sprint up to murder peasant mobs. I doubt they'll take literally any damage from that. I wonder when Hadrian's going to start casting Spirit Leeches, because we might want to do it soon. The battle's about to really commence. I don't know about using Burning Heads on Peasant mobs. It's probably not worth it. Maybe he wants to catch some Knights when they charge in. And, ooh, Questing Knights... Well, Knights of the Realm are going to try to fight in the trees against Halberd Infantry. That will be quite difficult. Chaos Warriors of the Halberds trying to intercept the Enchantress, who is thinking about getting on top of that Hell Cannon. It doesn't look like she will be able to. Halberds are fighting peasant mobs, but their charge defense is broken because they're in combat with these little peasants here. That won't matter too much when the Knights come a-knockin'. Those are still heavily armored halberds you're fighting. Knights of the Realm rear charging some more Chaos Warriors with halberds, but so far the halberds are holding very, very strong and doing just fine. Now the Soul of Damnation has been compromised. It does get a Scroll of Shielding, 20% damage resistance, while the mounted yeoman archers are all over it, but questing knights have now come in, and their armor-piercing values would be very good against the Chaos Dwarves that are here, and even the Chosen with Halberds a little bit, but those are some elite boys that are just right here, and they're happy to hit anything in this circle. Sigvald's trying to push and shove his way into the fight here, but he's having a little bit of trouble getting past his own Hell Cannon. Now he will get into the fight officially. And there's one unit of Chaos Warriors with Halberds that has been routed off. One of the Chaos Warhounds is also routed, but otherwise the Chaos Forces are standing firm. And it looks like an overcasted Burning Head is going to come down the line. How much damage is it going to do to his own Chosen? A decent amount, but it still was worth it. It hit a lot of the Bretonnian units more. Oof, does do some good damage to the Chaos Warriors with Halberds on the end. So that Burning Head probably was an even trade on both sides, though it was Chaos who cast it. Now Sigvald is beating the crap out of the Enchantress with some Chosen support, and she is really having a hard time getting out of this situation. I think she will shatter. Yep, she will shatter, and with that, the Bretonnians' hopes and dreams go as well. Halberds and Hell Cannons, boys. Apparently quite good. I've been having so much trouble getting questing knights to pay for themselves in this matchup. I recently started abandoning them just for more knights errant. But I lost it too, so who cares what I think. Spread out value. Chaos Warriors with Halberds did great. Chosen with Halberds, one of them that was in that big fight we saw, got a ton of value. Hell Cannon got 1100 and forced Bretonnia in. For Bretonnia, Fadeable Paladin didn't get too much, didn't have a ton of time. Questing Knights got 600 and 340. Knights of the Realm struggled, and Mounted Yeoman Archers did okay. They did okay, honestly, considering they're only a 500 gold unit. GG, well played. Next map is the Lost Crater, and then Carrick Asgal. And I will update the score in a moment, once I get the players on their thing. Lost Crater. Maps set. Game 3 is Carrick Asgal if we get there. Smalls is up. Pick ban. Alright. I did the little game 3 as Carrick Asgal if we get there, so I don't have to scroll up as far next time. Killing Smalls will pick Empire ban Dwarves and Vampire Counts. Blocker up. And Hadri's is up 1. Now this will be exciting. Killing Smalls is an Empire main, if I remember correctly. So they'll be probably more comfortable on this, and we might get to see some spicy builds. Indeed. To the 8 people here, how's it going? How's it going? To turn stream end? Nope, still going. That looks like it might be wrapping up. Oof. ODM. ODM did quite well. Wow. I didn't know Kel Harmon was ODM. That's interesting. Hadri's is potentially going to pick Skaven into Empire. Oh! Killing Smalls and I have played this matchup a good amount, and let's just say Killing Smalls didn't enjoy it. Though they did show me one build that they had and I liked it a lot versus my Skaven, and it did beat my Skaven. So I wonder if they'll take it here. It's a good map for it, too. And I'm very curious to see how Hadrius plays this matchup, dude. I haven't gotten to see a lot of Skaven players in a long time. They're just, I don't know. They don't come on my stream. Like, every time I see Hadrius nowadays, it's like Chaos and then some sort of Elves or something. Maybe Beastmen, maybe Lizardmen. Chosen One's been on my stream. He picked Chaos and Elves and other nonsense, and I just want to see good rat players play rats, man. The Blackthorn, what is this filthy place you find yourself? Smells like rat. What up, dude? Welcome to the stream. Is Murph still going? It looks like Turin's wrapping up. Murph might still be going. I planned this for a while, and then it looked like everybody's streams all overlapped, and that's a little cringe. All right, Murph's in his finals. Well, we'll see if people show up. You guess belt with wheel. Belt. Belt? Balthazar Gelt with a doom wheel on the other side? Or what else with a wheel? Belt with wheel. Okay. Blackthorn, you'll have to tell me what the heck. On the other side, Houseplant and Void Lulls have advanced. So they will be fighting the next semifinal, either after this game or the game after. Which should be hype. Turn stream ended. Yeah, nice. I thought it was going to end about an hour ago, because I saw they were doing the 3v3, and I thought that was the last thing, but... Yar. See no unforeseen reaches. Bell. Oh. You think a Bell with a Doom Wheel? Why the Doom Wheel in the Empire matchup? The Empire have a bunch of cav that can trap it down and actually do decent damage to it. Outriders and Pistoliers also do a lot of damage to it. Huntsmen don't as much. Cannons would do well against it if you can't dodge effectively, and sometimes Doom Wheels can have weird turning animations where they stop dead and they'll start turning, and then in that moment they're really bad at dodging the cannons. Does the Doom Wheel beat Volkmar at all? He has missile and magic resist, so its little shocker wouldn't do too much. Galthon, killing small should just denounce Hadrius after picking, because something like humanoid rats does not exist. Well, if he fights an army that doesn't exist, it's pretty easy to win. You start the game, and it immediately goes into army losses. Alright, blockers down. We are in game 2 of Killing Smalls versus Hadrius on the first semi-final of the stream today. Got another semi on the other side waiting for us with Void Lulls and Houseplant. So it's a VM, RTK, whatever Hadrius is, and RTK. It's a good day, if I say so myself, as an unbiased RTK member. Ooh, Hadrius, what am I looking at here? We have 3 Warlock Giselles. Well, Warplock Giselles, sorry. 3 Warplock Giselles, 2 Wolf Rats with poison, 2 Rat Ogres, 1 Poison Wind Mortar, Chieftain on a Bone Breaker paired with an Assassin. Yeah. Okay. And then a Gracier of Play with both summons, both the Clan Rat summon and the Dreaded 13th. Front line of Skaven Slave Spears mixed with Clan Rats with shields, and more Skaven Slave Spears. That's a good pick. I take Clan Rats a lot in this matchup, especially with shields, because the Empire Infantry actually doesn't destroy you. So you can hold for a long time and sometimes even win the frontline engagement. So I like Clan Rats here. They're very nice. Wolf Rats are probably just going to see one get paired with the Rat Ogre and one get paired with the Rat Ogre over here. Probably. Other than that, the Assassin and the Bonebreaker are a team to try to kill Volkmar, who we do have from Killing Smalls. Volkmar the Grim with his usual kit, all of his spells and stuff. An Amethyst Wizard in the sky with only Spirit Leech. This is the thing he brought against me, and I'm used to seeing a Firecaster, but that Spirit Leech was pretty darn effective. We have a mixed Unbreakable front line with some basic Spearmen. Spearmen in the center, Sigmar Sons and Flagellants on the outer edges. We have Empire Knights, 2 cannons positioned as far back as possible. I'm sorry, white line. Okay. Pistoliers, Empire Knights. Are there only 2 Pistoliers? No. Okay, sorry. I'm just watching. I know... There, that's fine. These cavalry units are fine because we all know they're going to immediately leave the corner, but those cannons with their butts up against the wall, there was only that much space between them. That's not a lot, so... Now the cannons are fine. Hello for Poland! How are you, good friend? At least Hadri's brought that against my Empire when I asked him for the matchup. A couple more DLCs have passed by. Yeah, dude, for Poland, if you want to rewind and watch Chaos versus Bretonia, Hadri's played a build very different than the one you and I were practicing, and that shit rocked. That was nutty. I think you would be very interested in seeing that. But this is to watch for Skaven Vanguard. So the Empire player has put a bunch of cav in the corners. They're immediately just going to walk up, probably in a little bit of a spread formation so that the Skaven can't run away. And they're just looking for Death Runners or Action Triads in the corners that can run around and flank cannons. For Poland, you were in the clan war. How did your games go? I was unfortunately busy doing my own tournament stuff, so I didn't get to watch, but it was Son of the Mountains versus ODM. I think I saw that you were in the best of 3. Empire Knights are running back to the corners to try to find Eshin units that aren't there, but Hadri's is going to advance. Now, the Warlock Giselles do fine. They do fine. They trade against cannons very well once they get into range, but it takes them a while to get into range. Now, it would be smart for... Kind of confused that Amethyst Wizard was allowed to just walk up without taking any punishment, but a Spirit Leech will be very effective. And there's the duality of cannons in this matchup, because you have the range advantage and you maybe want to punish it, but weapons teams are generally so spread out it can be hard to rout off one. Now this one was severely damaged by a Spirit Leech. We can see it killed 7 models on a unit that only had 24. So that unit will go down quickly, but if you waste all the time firing with your cannons on them, they're still going to get into range and kill your cannons in time, especially with 4 of them. And instead, maybe the cannons could be shooting at the chieftain or killing some rat ogres to let the cavalry have more room to play, maybe shooting at these poison wind mortars, but it's hard. It's hard. There's a lot of targets you got to kill, and you don't have a lot of time before you're going to get shut down. So it looks like the cannons will just be firing onto the Warlock Giselle teams, trying to buy themselves a little bit more time. And I keep forgetting that there are only 3 of them. There's actually poison wind over here. Ooh, a Dreaded 13th Summon comes down from Hadri's on top of the Great Cannon. It will pretty much immediately rout it and shatter it. Now these 2 Giselle teams will take out that cannon in very short order, and there will be no more artillery for the Empire. Empire Knights are streaming into the back of Hadri's lines, though. He will have to rout off some of these rat ogres to stop them, otherwise his poison wind mortars will get shut down very quickly. No, it looks like the Empire Knights are pulling up into the Assassin. That is a little bit of a misplay there. It looks like the micro is on the far side, but these Empire Knights are chasing off some Skaven Slave Spears, and cannons are trying to reroute off some Giselles. Giselles are still firing onto the cannon teams. It looks like they will very soon run. The damage is going to spike up once they get off of the cannons themselves, but their unit models are suffering quite badly. Amethyst Wizard is running around in here. There's a quick summon to keep these spearmen off of the Lord, but another Spirit Leech will come down on top of the Poison Wind Mortars, severely damaging them, and they might even rout off, especially if one of these cavalry units comes back here. But I think the Skaven formation was a little too loose, personally. It allowed the superior mobility of the Empire to be leveraged quite effectively. They could run in and out as they please, and there's only 2 Rat Ogres and 2 Wolf Rats to try to do anything about that. Speaking of which, where did the Wolf Rats end up? Looks like they were trying to chase off some Pistoliers, and they just got slowly kited to death, which is not ideal for them. Volkmar is now into the cookie jar, and he will get beat up by the Chieftain and the Assassin if he stays there. But in my experience, he's largely able to go where he pleases and walk away from them. If he stays in fights, he will obviously lose. But he can usually just walk around. Looks like the jails are now getting compromised. Volkmar is rolling through one, a banishment on the other. I don't usually like banishments like that. I've talked about it on previous streams, but their models are so spread out that the banishment doesn't do that much damage. Paired with the Spirit Leech, though, it looks like Volkmar is just trying to terror out some stuff and cause some havoc, because he knows the Chieftain's coming, the Assassin's coming, so he's burning spells just to cause some trouble and get the hell out of here. Pistoliers, where are they? I saw one back here earlier. So there's still one Pistolier with a good amount of ammo. The other ones are missing in action. Maybe those wolf rats actually caught something. We can see now the Empire's pulling ahead in the balance of power. One Great Cannon still online with 3 whole models shooting, and it should probably just click on the Gracier of Plague and leave it alone for the rest of the game at this point. That would probably be for the best. These Empire Knights are easily going to chase off these Warlock Jezzails, especially if they throw Spirit Leech on top of these Wolf Rats of Poison, just to do enough damage to them to get them to rout off. More Empire Knights coming, more Flagellants coming. This area is going very poorly for the Empire in general, but the rest of the map is going super well for them. They're doing just fine. They should get those Pistoliers if they still have them. Empires take their Pistoliers and shoot the Chieftain on the Bonebreaker for the rest of the game. So Cannon on the Greyseer, Pistoliers on the Chieftain, run away with Volkmar for the rest of this, maybe Spirit Leech down the Assassin or something, and they'll be in really good shape. Look at all this cav, just chasing off all the weapons teams, chasing off the Wolf Rats. Very nice stuff from the Empire player. Killing Smalls is definitely an Empire main. Dangerous foe, too. Oof. Little bit of mistake with those Pistoliers in the corner. They have been thoroughly forgotten about. Volkmar did get away from that little goon squad meant to kill him. I still wonder what these cannons are shooting at. I would like to see him shoot at the Greyseer. They can do good damage. He's very tall, very easy to hit for such a piece. Empire had a very strong start to the game. In the late game, I feel like their micro's been a little bit sloppy. The Pistolier getting forgotten about. Some of these cav over here being potentially forgotten about, and now they might get rear charged by Wolf Rats, or the Wolf Rats are going to go up around into the cannons. The Empire player definitely has to keep their head in the game. Smalls has to make sure they're very on top of things, because this game is easily losable. See that Chieftain already working on Volkmar a bit? If that keeps happening, if Volkmar dies, Skaven can definitely win this. Your clan was playing in the clan war? Yeah, for Poland. I saw that. You were in the 3v3, I believe. I hope it went well for you. I know the overall score was not in your favor, but I hope the match you specifically were in, you did fine. Empire Knights are now surrounding the Chieftain. They will get some good damage, especially with the Grand Shield of Faith, to try to mitigate some damage. I wonder if there's a Grand Hammer of Sigmar in the pocket for Volkmar, because if you give all these guys some extra melee attack, they would be very happy indeed. They're doing a lot of work on this Chieftain. He only has 70 armor, so it doesn't matter that they don't have the most armor-piercing stats. And here are the Pistoliers ready to do some good work, and that they will. If you can see a few volleys hit him, you will see what I mean about the Pistoliers being good in this matchup. Look at them. Look at them poking them down. Oh, they're shooting the Greyseer. Cannon shots coming in for something. Don't really know what that was for. And the Wolf Rats did get on top of the cannons. I mentioned that earlier. These units were just not being used at all to screen them. That will be a big mistake. It looks like Killing Smalls will manage to pull this out anyway. Chieftain's terror routing. Now it comes back. Leadership barely holding, but if it takes even more damage while being rear charged, that will be very bad. Certainly this is still Empire favored, but if Killing Smalls watches this back, there are a few things they can improve. Potentially. Chieftain's still fighting. Assassin is fully mucked down in elite cavalry. Well, not elite cavalry. Heavy cavalry. And this Greyseer is taking a bunch of Pistolier shots to the back. Now, he does have 100 armor. I would prefer to see those shots go into the 70 armor Chieftain, finish him off. Because the Greyseer's health doesn't really matter as long as he doesn't break. His summons and stuff will always matter. Well, the Chieftain's health actually matters because he's actually a combatant. We do get a terror out in from the Bellseer. Pistolier's out of ammo, but they're hoping to actually break him. And if they can break him and actually walk with him off the map, that would be very good for them. Army losses will come in for the Skaven. And the Empire stands victorious. We are 1-1. I don't play in Dark Elf matchup good. I'm sorry, dude. That's a shame. Greyseer Plague got almost 1,000 value. Good stuff there. Assassin was a debuff bot, and the Chieftain of Bonebreaker paid for himself. So that's good. Skaven Infantry struggled, as it does. Had a bit of a rough time. Some of the clan rats, their shields almost paid for themselves. Giselles all got shut down very quickly. Poison Wind Mortars also got shut down decently quickly, only got half their value back. And Rat Ogres did okay, but Wolf Rats, one of them especially, did not have a fun time. Volkmar got 1,600 value, but was still very healthy. This Amethyst Wizard got 1,400 value, which is kind of nuts for only having Spirit Leech. Flagellants did okay. Sigmar Sons did well. They paid for themselves again. The Empire Cav did the work of the gods, even if their value doesn't show it. They ran off a lot of things. Pistoliers did well, even though one of them looks like got shut down by Wolf Rats and run off. And one cannon got immediately murdered by a Dreaded 13th. The other one got 1,200 value. Chosen One, Skaven losing. Very thematic these days. Hey! I win on Skaven most of the time. It's actually kind of funny that in all my best of threes, it's like my Skaven game, I will usually win. Like I win it like 70% of the time, and then I'll lose the rest of the best of three because I have to play other factions. But my Skaven can usually win, he said before he was going to play them in the faction war and fucking lose. Like a chump. Map. Set. Smalls. Pick 3. Ban 1. Not previously banned. You banned VC and Dowie. I think they banned VC and Dowie, right? Yeah. Alright. I beat 0 versus Wood Elves today, only to lose 2-1 like a complete idiot. Chosen One, no! Chosen One! I did it. I did the thing. Chosen One loves when I do that. We're best friends. You thought Hadri's had it, to be honest? In the early game. Like, in the early game, I thought the builds, he had it. But I don't think the deployment was optimal. I was talking to Deadly Bunnies about this the other day, and Deadly Bunnies was very mad at me, but too bad. He was mad I box in the Beastman matchup as Skaven, I make a box. And I was talking to him about it where it's like, when your opponent's strength is their speed, which the Beastmen as a faction have, there's literally no reason for me to spread out my formation and allow you to leverage your advantage. Because when I look at the build, if you have Traderkin or Flock of Doom, I'll spread out from there. But if your build just has like Manticore summons or something like that, there's no reason for me to spread out at all. So you have to assess the situation. And here it looked like Hadri's had a deployment. He's used to it for against Empire. It was fine. And like nothing wrong with the deployment in general. But I think once you see how much cavalry the Empire had, because they had 4 Empire Knights, 2 Pistoliers, and Volkmar's a weird-ass chariot thing, I think staying in a single line of infantry and leaving your back line to be defended by 2 Rat Ogres and 2 Wolf Rats, I personally disagree with that. But, yeah, it was tough. Because then you're trusting 2 Wolf Rats and 2 Rat Ogres to fight 4 Heavy Cav and 2 Skirmish Cav all on their own, which Rat Ogres don't even trade that well into Empire Knights if they take the charge. They trade excellently into Empire Knights if they countercharge, like Empire Knights hit something and then the Rat Ogres hit them next. But it was tough. It was tough. Empire is low-key a hard Skaven matchup. Alright, I'll trust you, Chosen One. Let's get to the point. Do we blob rats or what? Depends. The unsatisfying answer is depends. It depends on what your opponent's trying to do. So in the Beastmen matchup, you have to watch out for Traderkin and Flock of Doom. But if they don't take that, or if they use a Manticore summon, in which case you know they don't have a ton of Winds of Magic left, you need to blob up pretty hard. Because otherwise Centaurs, Dogs, Tuskor Chariots are going to run all over. And your Rat Ogres aren't fast enough to bounce around. Because speed is not your advantage. So the less distance you have to travel, the better. And that's why a box is better. It's not because you're covering 360 degrees. It's more of because you want to keep your formation tight enough that your support assets can get where they need to get, if that makes sense. Because the Dowie box is different from a Skaven box, because a Skaven box is fragile as shit. It's just small. They're going to get through your Skaven slaves. They're just going to. They're not going to hold. But the main part you care about is being able to defend your Poison Wind and your Warp Lightning Cannon, if that's what you have. And support your Lord and do all that stuff. So it's tough. Versus Empire? No, you never blob. If that's what you were talking about. Bottom versus Empire is not at all a good idea. So I don't think Hadri should have blobbed. I think the lines, because he had a straight flat line, right? He should have brought it into more of an arrowhead formation, in my opinion. And this is all my opinion, but arrowhead formation can zone out some cavalry and then have a narrower attack angle. So instead of your Rat Ogres and Wolf Rats having to cover 180 degrees, they could cover like 60 degrees, because the back of your arrowhead's the only thing they have to protect. Since last time you showed me your Skaven, I can't stop spamming Storm Vermin shields. Why did I inspire you to do that? That's not very good. Okay, wait. It's very good in 2 matchups, but other than that, it's not very good. Don't do that. Friggin' Storm Vermin. It's weird what happens when you play this game a lot. There are weird ebbs and flows of factions that don't rely on patches. Like, I used to get Dark Elves versus Skaven like literally every game for some reason. And now no one will play that. And they'd play Vampire Counts or Empire into me, and that's it. I don't know. I need to give Killing Smalls a point. Blackthorn, stop distracting me with your pleasant conversation and your charming demeanor. Boom. 1-1. Someone stays Storm Vermin. That's true. That's true. At Void. At Houseplant. Oh, what 3 maps should we do next? Dwarf Outskirts is a good one. I like it. Outskirts. Cliff of Beasts. And what's another good one? Not Langui. Oakenhammer is fine. Oakenhammer are your maps. Please do first pick and ban. And I will join you. We are in game 3 now on this end. All right, so we'll get the next semifinal hopefully set up so that the players do pick and bans while we're not there. We can just hop in and go into game. Sadly, you gotta go. Goodbye, Blackthorn. Goodbye, and good luck to you, sir, in your future endeavors. And we have the good old-fashioned Greenskins High Elves matchup. I wonder if we get Altharion the Grim and Grom the Paunch. That would be pretty funny. That would be quite amusing. Smalls is ready. Hadri's might be ready soon. Yes, indeed. And while we load in, I am going to visit the Little Human's room. BRB. I'm back. I'm back. Don't you worry. I know the screen block is there. It's getting out of here. Frick you, screen blocker. This is a family-friendly stream. We don't say fuck. Oh, killing Smalls, you animal. Okay. There's been a build, a toxic build going around, and we're going to see it today, ladies and gentlemen. For the greenskins, it looks like we have 2 Goblin Wolf Rider Archers. No, just 1, and a Spider Rider for some poison. We have 1 Stone Troll. Is that it? Looks like 1 Stone Troll. Unit of Black Orcs. It's hard to tell what there's just 1 of in this matchup. 2 Orc Boar Chariots. It looks like 2 Orc Boar Boys, not biggins. 1 Hammer of Gork to force the High Elves forward. A front line of Goblins. And no ROR Night Goblins as far as I can see. That's maybe the first time I haven't seen them on a greenskin roster in like 8 years. That's nice. Goblin Great Shaman with the Don't Even Try It, the little weird Spirit Leech type thing. And then Vindictive Glare and Gork'll Fix It. So the AoE slow and the poke. Goblin Big Boss, but they need stabbing, and I saw River Troll Hag. What does she have? Spirit Leech and Mither. So the slow. No, Smalls, no! Chosen One. Oh, RTK playing a toxic build? No way. Hey! Hey! You be nice. Chosen One. Alright. For RTK, killing Smalls, can I say RTK enough about this player? This player right here is RTK, part of the Round Table Knights. Judge him as you would judge the entire clan. 3 Silver and Guard, 1 Spearman. Other than that, we have a Handmaiden of the Everqueen on horse. We have a Noble on horse. We have 3 White Lion Chariots, all on a fancy blob. Alariel the Radiant on horse with Earthblood, Foz Protection, and Heart of Averlorn. And then we have a Frostheart Phoenix in the sky. Saphir taught it? I won't let ODM take credit for good old-fashioned knight cheese. We have some real Gouda in our ranks. So this annoying-ass blob is just going to roll around the map and destroy whatever it wants. And it's going to be glorious. Now I wonder if maybe Hadries can deal with this. Stone Trolls will do a lot of damage to the White Lion Chariots if they can stand on top of them with a little bit of infantry support. Black Orcs can maybe do some good damage. Orc Boar Boys can actually also do very well. It will all depend on who's supporting who and what the situation is like that. Because in a vacuum... my voice cracked. In a vacuum, any of these units are just going to get destroyed. I shouldn't circle these when I say that. These are going to destroy anything they touch if they 1v1 anything. For now, a little bit of Skirmish Kite coming in. It was very effective not to have 6 Skirmish Cav in this matchup, because with all these chariots and whatever, the Skirmish Cav they could fire all their arrows and do almost nothing, especially with the amount of healing in this build. Silver Guards are advancing. They're taking a lot of work, actually. The Hammer of Gork is really putting a slap down on these spear boys. French Cheese can't stand up to this, and I think Greenskins can do it. Yeah, Greenskins can do it. It's just not something you're ready to deal with. Like, it's weird to say emotionally, but like you're just not emotionally in the headspace to beat up a blob. We will see the Goblin come in. Little Goblin Big Boss, Orc Boar Boys trying to charge in on the sides. More Orc Boar Boys and Black Orcs and Stone Trolls. This is probably your best chance at nuking down this build. Everything's supporting each other. Nothing's getting isolated and caught out. You can see Larry is already quite injured from Vindictive Glares and Spirit Leeches and that sort of thing. Orc Boar Chariots are trying to push in here and get some damage done. And the Handmaiden of the Everqueen's a little damaged. Now we all know with this character we're going to see the nice little donut of healing come out pretty soon and heal up any mistake they've ever made in that blob. But hopefully Hadries can get some stuff to stick. He is doing a lot of good work on the Handmaiden. If he breaks her off, maybe his mobility can just chase her down and make sure she never comes back. Oh, the Orc Boar Boys are running already. Cowards. Filthy, filthy cowards. Spider Riders are charging in. It looks like they're maybe trying to get on top of Larry there. That will do some good damage. Darkest Shinobi. Why does your game look so much cleaner than mine? What did you do? I don't know. I hit it with a broom. The Noble is not having a good time. He's already down to half health, maybe even a third. Yes, a third. That Goblin Big Boss is right on top of him, doing a ton of damage. He gets terrified, and if he actually routs, these Wolf Riders should definitely 100% chase him off. The Boar Boys have come back, and with a bit of a wah, it wears off just as they charge in, but maybe they got a little bit of benefit from it. There's a Gorkle Fix-It coming down. I don't know about that one, because all it does is reduce speed. Yeah, charge bonus and charge speed, but nothing's really charging here, so I don't know about that one. Maybe Hadri's just had the mana and wanted to slow down the Noble, slowed the Noble's retreat, maybe get some more hits in. Don't really know. Orc Boar Chariots are not enjoying their life, and we can see the Donut of Healing has come back to heal up all these units. It's healing up the Noble, actually, a decent amount. Chosen One, what the hell is this game? Get to CAA, fix this. Yep, Chariots are neat. Chariots are real neat. Though I think the Lion Chariots were like this even before. I don't know. I don't know if they collide with each other as much. All right, the Noble is out and he is routing. Where are the Skirmish Cav? Oh, they're way over here. He is 100% coming back. Unless these Wolf Riders get on top of him. Are they faster? 78, 92. Hey, Hadri's does take his Wolf Riders and he's running after him. If that Noble can't get out of range, that'll be a big win for the Greenskins here. In a game they are otherwise, it would appear a little behind. All right, that is very nice. Very nice control from Hadri's there. This blob, something's happening. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine in that one. Spider Riders don't need to help escort off this Noble. He's currently surrounded by Wolf Riders. I think they will be fine. Hammer of Gork is firing at something. It looks like he's firing at the Silver and Guard trying to come back into the fight. Balance power is slightly favored for the High Elves. Now Larry is already heal capped, so we'll see her come down. The Lion Chariots are, two of them are at half health, one of them's fine. Another Spirit Leech comes down onto Larry. Does she have magic resist, or is it just physical? It's just physical, looks like. So maybe that's an effective use of your Winds of Magic. River Troll Hag is running. It just needs to sit and regen for a little bit, get its vigor back too, otherwise it's just going to constantly rout. Noble is getting run off. Bounce power is going further into the High Elves' favor as more things rout. Those Boar Boys, they're so wounded, they're probably not going to come back, and if they do, they won't do that much to help. Stone Trolls are trying to fight. Larry is taking a lot of damage, honestly. But even without her, the High Elves might just win this. They're grinding down with Silver and Guard. Black Orcs are having a hard time even against Spearman units. They have a melee defense of 54, and these guys only have a melee attack of 26. So yeah, they're gonna struggle. Goblin Great Shaman is pulling away. Looks like the River Troll Hag has run in, but maybe she wants to get out of there. Maybe do a little bit more like spell kiting type things. The Noble is officially off the map, and the balance power is still this bad for the Green Boys. And there's another Donut of Healing. I've only seen one. Pretty sure we could see a Star of Avalon at any moment. And I wouldn't hate to use it right now. One of those Lion Chariots is its heal caps in sight, which is interesting. The Frostheart Phoenix now, it's the only Phoenix that doesn't get a rebirth, so you actually can't let that one get to 0 HP and just hope it'll heal itself. You do need to star that one. Another Earthblood coming in for the High Elves. I don't even need to move the camera. Everything's literally right here. Hey, Donut of Healing coming in. And all the High Elf units are going to group up, try to get some of that sweet, sweet healing. Some Spearmen are over here killing Goblins, because apparently Silver and Guard are elite infantry. And Larry is almost dead. But all Lion Chariots are so healthy, and now the Goblin Great Shaman's breaking. Balance of power is gone. And the most skillful build in the world wins another frickin' game. Oh, I hate it so much. Oh, you hate to see it. You'll love to see an RTK win, but you hate to see the High Elf Chariot Blob win another game. Oof. Goblin Great Shaman got 3,400 value. Goblin Big Boss got 840. River Troll Hag got 1,100. So all the Greenskin heroes did fine. Black Orcs got 840 value. They tried. Stone Trolls struggled. Hammer of Gork did fine. Black Orcs honestly just disappointed me with how badly they did against even like Spearmen. I mean, Spearmen and Silver and Guard, but Silver and Guard are just fancy Spearmen. Silver and Guard did okay. White Lion Chariots did great. Noble struggled. Frostheart Phoenix did okay. But most of it was just routing off stuff constantly. Wish I could say GG, but meh. Alright, GG's. And Void Law's popped into the chat I wonder if they hosted a game. We will see. "13 tourney semis, that was me. Rat Lords. Seems unlikely. Seems unlikely. Houseplant.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Okay, so you guys didn't host yet?
No.
Oh, okay. Alright, I'll rehost one. 2. And I can invite Void Laws. I think he's on my friends list somewhere. Well, there's Houseplant, so boop. Void Laws. He's VAVM Void Laws now, I think. Yeah, there he is. I know for a while he was Bellicor. So Killing Smalls has advanced to the finals. We will now see the other semifinal of Void Laws versus RTK Houseplant. I had told them the maps in Discord, but we will copy paste them here. Dwarf Outskirts, Cliff of Beasts, and Oakenhammer. Hey, hey. Alright. Dwarf Outskirts to start us off. I like this map. A lot of people don't. And it sucks for Skaven. So you know when I say that I like it, it's not some Skaven bias. It's a terrible map for Skaven, but I just like that it's not a flat square. It's pretty interesting. Alright. So Void is going to be on the left side. And if anybody is upset that I don't really use clan tags up top, it is because the squares I have made are very small, and I do need to make them bigger in the future. But until then, most people's names don't fit if I had a clan tag. Because, like, Killing Smalls was really long. I guess I could... This time, both people have small names. No, it's just not worth it. It's cleaner and easier if I just do Houseplant. Fits like a glove. Hey, Houseplant's here. Okay. I don't know if I've clicked on anybody's build, but just in case, we will do that. Map is set. Void is first pick. Dwarf Outskirts, Cliff of Beasts, and Oakenhammer. Beastmen. Void coming in with the Beastmen first pick, band Vampire Counts, and Dark Elves. Those are 2 good bands. What to pick against Beastmen right now? High Elves isn't bad. Though if he takes that Chariot build, Void Laws was literally just in this chat, so he saw it. And I doubt he will walk straight into that one. Though you could, I mean, you could switcheroo him. You know, pick High Elves. You're in the same clan as the person that just took a High Elf build that destroyed things on stream. And then you take something wildly different and just put your opponent off kilter. That can be kind of interesting. We'll see. I think it's bold to do the same thing. Like, literally the game after. So if Houseplant takes that build, I would expect Void to counter it. But maybe it's too strong. Maybe it can't be countered. Maybe... Oh, stretch. I know there were some High Elf players trying to lobby, and I'm not pointing fingers, but who you are, you know who you are. I know you. They were trying to get the unit cap lowered from 300 to like 250 or 200, and I think we'd be seeing a lot more builds like that in the future from as many factions as possible. Yep. Sorry. I know that rule's different, but like everybody's bouncing their rules around and changing everything all the time. I'm just going by what's in my challenge to not confuse anybody. And this challenge right here says 2 freestanding chariots and 1 hero on a chariot. I know some people have switched their rules to being 1 and 1, and some have switched to just, I don't know. There's too much switching. I'm just going to stay consistent. I don't think Tuskor chariots are that much of a, like, okay, they're a problem. I'm not saying they're not a problem, but they're beatable enough. Like, I've played... How many times is Human Boy going to mention he plays Skaven? Anyway, I played Skaven versus them. Double Tuskors are annoying, but like 1 Rat Ogre and dogs or Rat Ogres and spears can beat them up. You can shoot them. Some cannons even hit them in 1 shot. They're Beastmen chariots. Their leadership is fucking terrible. I think they're manageable. They're definitely too strong, but I don't think just... Well, Human Boy allowed 2 multi-entity chariots and a hero. This tournament sucks now. I think it'll be fine. Hey, Drees, hey. Hope you enjoyed the games. Guess last one was a bummer. Yeah, dude, that high elf build sucks. Like, it just sucks. I've known about it for a bit. I didn't want to spoil anything because that's just not fair to do in a best of 3. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, God. Because Castigate sucks. You're staring at this blob and you're like, what tactics do I analyze? What do I just, Yep, those chariots are going to hit things, and then they're going to get healed. Yes, big brain analysis. But, yeah. And that, now, to anybody in the YouTube video that doesn't know the context of that build, it's been around. A lot of people have used it. Not across the whole spectrum, but it's not like, wow, Killing Smalls made up that build and it's such a toxic like piece of shit. Like, no, like I know at least 5 people have taken that build, and so don't flame Killing Smalls. They're just doing what they got to do to win. Doing what they got to do to win. Glenn, how's the tournament going? Pretty well, I would think. Pretty well. We're going to see. We have Void Laws versus Houseplant in the second semifinal. And Killing Smalls is waiting in the final once again after Chosen One defeated them last time, going to all 5 games. Killing Smalls is taking another crack at it. You pick Skaven for fun. I actually think they are very disfavored in the buggy meta and out of practice. Makes sense, Hadries. Dude, I will never stop playing Skaven, no matter the meta. No matter anything. I have my pride on the line. I still think they're good. I know they're very not popular right now, though. I think Chosen One, were you the one talking to me about it? Or was it Saphir? I was DMing someone in Discord and it came up that, like, it's good to see you playing Skaven. You really don't get to see them much anymore. Yeah, Adamo. I just didn't want to... I don't really like blasting people, especially with stuff that might not be popular. And that high elf build is not popular, my friends. It's a disaster. Reminds me of the Marathi blob. It's different, but the Marathi blob, where it was never very good, but people were taking it maybe 6 months ago, where it was like Marathi with her double debuffs, and then a master with his buff, his AoE melee attack buff, and then the Death Hag with her AoE melee attack buff. I think she has one too. I know she has an AoE something, but anyway. Another AoE, and then you take the Bloodrack Shrine, which has an area of effect melee attack nerf, and an area of effect melee attack buff for you. And you just run around with this, like, blob of shit. And you just slam into whatever fight you can, and you buff up your infantry so much and debuff theirs so much that wherever you go is a winning melee fight. And you're just bouncing around trying to win as many fights through just AoE nerfing as you could. And that like I said, it lost a lot because if you have any ranged units, you shrug your shoulders, go okay, and back up, and then you shoot the Dark Elves to death. But man, like vampire counts struggled with that. Beastmen struggled with that pretty hard. Chaos sometimes struggled with it. It was just like, it was really depressing to watch. Just, all right. Your best scores now have a melee attack of 2. Yay! Melee attack of 2. I don't. Not a big fan. Simple answer is chariots count as single entity and problem solved. Yeah, make all chariots a single entity. As a Skaven player, I support this. My chariots are already single entity. Or they suck. Make Doomflayers a single entity, please. Alright, we're into the game. Dwarf Outskirts. Wood Elves versus Beastmen. The DLC everybody wanted but didn't get. Though I suppose their standalone DLCs came out in the same game around the same time, so... Maybe CA was just like, we already did it, sort of. This is Void Laws we're dealing with, so the load time might be a bit much. We will have our fingers crossed that it will resolve soon. Wood Elves Beastmen. I guess I could try to predict the armies before they come out and be horribly wrong, and then people could laugh at me, but at least we filled time. I'm going to guess Glade Guard spam. Glade Guard spam with Dryads, Sisters on their Eagle, probably a High Caster with Soul Quench, Apotheosis, and maybe Tempest to deal with Harpies in case there's actually an Air Force. And then for the Beastmen, I'm going to guess 2 Tuskor Chariots, a Caster of Wild on a Tuskor Chariot with Traitorkin and no other spell. Other than that, probably a simple Ungor Gore Rush. I don't know. Doing my best here. Biggest tragedy of the patch is that all chariots have been pretty much great now, but Doomflayers still suck from Hadri's. Yeah, dude. Doomflayers are terrible. Like, super terrible. Tomb King's chariots work like chariots should. The 3 model and single entry model ones are janky OP fantasy chariots. Yeah. Like, the Tomb King's chariots are strong when they hit something, but otherwise they're actually not that great. Like, they get worn down really easily. So Void Laws only took 1 Tuskor Chariot along with his Bray Shaman of Wilds on a Tuskor Chariot with Traitorkin and it looks like Viletide. Oh, it's Bray Scream. Okay, Bray Scream. Torix the Brass Bull, Bray Shaman of Death on foot with only Aspect of the Dread Knight for ethereal units, probably for the Lost Sylvan Knights. Stop moving everything. Stop it. Double Chaos Feral Manticore. We have Centaurs. No great weapons among them. And on the far side, we have 2 Throwing Axe Centaurs, one of which is the ROR that has regen, and 2 Chaos Warhounds with poison. Ungor Spearman across the front line. That's a very nice build. Okay, for the Wood Elves, everything's on a horsey. Nice. Sisters of Twilight on an Eagle. Hey, I was right about something. Spellsinger of Life with Dwellers Below and a heal. She has 94 speed, so she's also on a horse. We have 5 Glade Riders. Any of you have Hagbane tips? 1, 2, 4 of them have Hagbane tips. 1's regular. My tongue got tied there. That was a little annoying. And we have Wild Riders with shields, Lost Sylvan Knights, and 4 Glade Riders with spears. So it's going to be a Wood Elf Kite Cavalry build. Interesting. Now Void is ready for those Lost Sylvan Knights. We saw the Aspect of the Dread Knight. It gives magic damage now. He will be quite good at that. These Ungor Spearmen have shields, so they're kind of a waste for a lot of your ammunition. Sisters immediately firing onto the Manticores, and I learned today in my own match versus the Wood Elves that the Sisters' arrows are homing and very hard to dodge, which is quite tedious. Wood Elves are going to run away, as Wood Elves do, but there is a flanking Centaur that can maybe trap in 1 unit if Houseplant doesn't see it coming and come through here. lock down one thing, or even if you don't connect, if you force this, your opponent either has to go out and around or out and around, and it's this part of that movement that lets you get caught because you're not getting distance between you and the dogs chasing you anymore. Looks like Void will be a little over-aggressive and maybe just come in from the side instead of getting a full flank, but Houseplant does decide to get the Glade Riders involved in the action. It looks like some Wild Riders are also going to come in and just try to bunker bust this little area. If there's a Dwellers below there, that could be good. It looks like on the other side, a similar engagement's going to happen, so Houseplant is taking some engagements, just trying to pick the right ones. And we do see a Dwellers coming in. Voidlaw is going to pull away one unit and try to drag the Wild Riders into their own Dwellers below. But overall, I still think that trade is okay for the Wood Elves. Centaurs on the other side are also getting messed up, and a Traderkin has come in on top of the Wild Riders and Glade Riders, doing a ton of damage because Traderkin is bounced. Sisters are flying away from the Manticore. They should be faster than it, but they're still getting caught because this game always confuses me on how the hell speed works. Beastmen are slamming through the right flank of the Wood Elves. Definitely winning that side of the engagement now with the Tuskar Chariots and the Shaman support. Ooh, Lost Silver Knight's getting a little aggressive for a second, but immediately pulling back, realizing there are Spirit Leeches and Traderkins nearby that will absolutely destroy them. The left flank's going well-ish for the Wood Elves, but not well enough that this right flank getting destroyed is okay. They lost 2 full units pretty much and took a bunch of damage on others. Oh, the Wild Riders have rallied, but with 18 models and that low of health, they're going to need some healing if they're going to be effective at all. Have the Beastmen really suffered any casualties? Kinda. These Centaurs are getting rear charged, but now they have dogs supporting them because they won the little Glade Rider fight. Aside from that, the Beastmen are okay. They're faring this quite well, all things considered. Now, the Sisters are still flying around. They're happy as can be. If they can get some more shots off on the Manticore, burst those bad boys down, they'll have complete domination of the skies as long as they dodge throwing axes, and then they can shoot whatever they want. But I think Torix is relatively tanky to such things. He does have 130 armor. We will see. Glade Riders' spears are getting dragged down by these Centaurs and dogs. And the Wood Elves are running out of things to throw into the meat grinder. They're mostly relying on their Skirmish Cav at this point. And Skirmish Cav is good, but it doesn't have the real punch to like kill Torix or kill all these different things. Tuskar Chariots are trying to fight the Lost Sylvan Knights, and there comes that aspect of the Dread Knight now. Everything in this Beastman blob is trying to catch up Lost Sylvan Knights with their imbued magic damage. They will wreck it if they can catch it. Sisters are fighting the Manticore in the sky, just trying to kill it off, but it looks like it's winning the melee, so they will pull further away. You can see, where is your unit card? There it is. They're already down to about half health, those Lost Sylvan Knights. They are not enjoying that magic damage at all. Beastmen are pulling further ahead on the balanced power than they were at the start of the game, and the white line is very close as the Wood Elves try to kite away, but that means any of their units that route, which some of them are going to go right off. And that is going to be tricky. Sisters of Twilight still fighting the Manticore. Where's the second one? Did he die? Oh, I didn't think he died. Oh, he's way over here. Lost Sylvan Knights are going to route, and they're probably going to run straight off the map. Balance power is going very far out of the hands of the Wood Elves. Sisters of Twilight are about 1/3 health. Now they could get a regrowth from their passive or Earthbloods from their mage, but that's not going to be effective enough to turn the tides of this game. I think army losses will actually come in quite soon. Traderkin coming down. It's probably going to catch 2, 3. All right, 3 cavalry units. Oh, one of them was a Spellsinger Life. She's fine. She's fine. At this point, the Wood Elves are about out of gas. It's just the Beastmen are just waiting for them to realize that they've already lost. So I don't think Sisters... If Sisters can carry this, that's a problem. If Sisters can carry this, I'm going to stop playing the game. Because that's not okay if that's true. One Manticore rallies in the distance. The Deathcaster is still fine. I wonder if he was overcasting stuff and that's why he's so damaged. But I can't imagine anything actually got on top of him. Sisters firing into the Bray Shaman of Wilds now, doing a lot of great damage there. But very effective Beastman push from Voidlaws. Won all the engagements he could get. If he couldn't get an engagement, he kept things relatively safe. That's pretty good. Okay, Bray Shaman of Wild is shattered. Alright. Tuskar Chariots are strong, but even Flex Tape can't fix that. There's going to be a quick heal coming in on the Sisters. They are not giving up in this fight. They will keep going to the end, but with throwing axes almost directly underneath them, they're going to take a lot of damage there, and if they ever slow down for even a second, these Manticores are going to be all over them. Skirmish Cav running a little low on ammunition, and the Spellsinger of Life is now sort of trapped up with some Blade Riders' spears, fighting Centaurs with Torax the Brass Bull in hot pursuit. The Wood Elves might army lost themselves just by spending their ammunition. They do turn around and charge this already very, very scared dog unit. That will be very good. Ooh, and the Spellsinger of Life, if she dies or routs, that is going to be army losses because of the balance of power in her magic. And we can see she is getting karate chopped down. All of a sudden, all these Wood Elves decide it's just not worth their time. GG, well played. Stretch. Hunger. I have to do a best of 5? Oh, no. I didn't do any of the values. Oh, no. You're not you when you're hungry. You're distracted. What the heck was the map? Dwarf Outskirts, Cliff of Beasts, and Oakenhammer. Cliff of Beasts. Map set. Next will be Oakenhammer if game 3. And Void Laws is up 1. I have the blocker back up. Yep, I do. Houseplant is immediately going to roll into Empire, banning dwarfs and counts. Void Laws could take Lizardmen. They're very strong right now, and the Empire matchup is tough against the Lizardmen. Void Laws could take... what else? Dark Elves Empire's even. Dark Elves Empire is pretty fun. Bretonnia Empire is even-ish. I would say maybe Empire favored, but depends on who you talk to, so we'll say even. Oh, boy. Chaos, I hear mixed things. Some Empire mains say it's Empire favored, and I would agree, because when I played Chaos against the Empire, they just full skirmish kite me, and it's a miserable day to be a Warriors of Chaos player, but maybe Void's got some secret tech there, so could go Warriors of Chaos. I mean, I would go Skaven, but I'm sure that doesn't surprise many of you. Dude, I need food. I'm gonna die. My health bar is blinking low. XMT Way is playing Sid Meier's Civilization 6. What? Wait, what? Oh, hey, Dustin messaged me back. Hello. Thank you, chum. XMT Way. We cannot let him get away with this. Go sleep, human boy. You need it. No, I don't, dude. It's 4 p.m. here. You gosh darn Brits. I need food, not sleep. Void Laws is going to go Lizardman, it looks like. I must say that is a solid choice. It's a good game. You're a good game. 'Cause you're easy to play. Get wrecked. Teehee. Civ 6 is mass. Oh, it's on sale today? Oh, okay. I wonder if they put Civ 6 on a massive sale today to try to downplay Humankind, which is pretty much Civ 6 or 5. I mean, like, look at it, dude. This is Civ 6. I mean, it's all chilling, and then Humankind. pretty much the same game. I'm sure there's some little differences and stuff and whatever. I'm not super interested in Humankind. I wanted to like it, but I just struggled. Because I didn't really like Civilizations 5 or 6 either. I liked Civ 4. I played the absolute crap out of Civ 4. But Civ 5, it was harder to expand. It was harder to win wars. And I mean, I'm playing a total war game, so I think you know what my preferred method of winning was. But in Civ 5 and 6, it was like, it took forever to build armies. It took forever to walk them anywhere. You could only have a certain number of soldiers on a certain space. So when you had two massive armies clash, and when you had two things engage, it wasn't required that one thing died. Both things could just take damage and back up, which is like fine if that's what you're into. But when I had two massive armies slamming into each other, both of them taking damage and then backing up, enough turns went by that like by the time the battle was over, we had moved on. So it was like, all right, I'm entering the Iron Age. I'm going to build swordsmen and like longbowmen, and I'm going to be a fucking badass. We're going to have some medieval battles. It takes you so long to build them. Then you have to walk them. And then you get in the fight. And by the time the fight ends, the people in your city have muskets. And they're like, what the fuck are they doing out in that field? Those barbarians? And I'm like, those barbarians were state-of-the-art tech when they left this city. So I don't know. That could just be me. But that was my opinion on it. I didn't like it as much. Long Paul Dury, Civ 4 was the peak. Civ 4 was amazing, dude. I made so many maps in that. So many. But Crusader Kings is the true upgrade. Crusader Kings is weird. I play Crusader Kings with my friends. I've played 2 and 3. They are very fun. They're very fun. I'd probably give games like an 8 or 9 out of 10. So anything I say that's negative, couch it in the fact that I think the game is an 8 or 9 out of 10. The combat can be weird sometimes, in that I don't think it's intuitive in certain ways. Like Crusader Kings 3 right now. All right? This is literally how the game works. If it's your territory, you get the defensive bonus. That makes sense. Human boy, why are you being such a twat? Well, you didn't let me finish, dear listener. You get the defensive bonus even if you're attacking. So if I'm sieging your city with 4,000 guys and you're attacking me up a hill, if you're attacking me up a hill with 2,000 guys, how the game thinks that should work is that my guys all get out of your way, your guys enter the fortress up the hill from me because it's your fortress, and then we start the fight, and you get your defensive bonuses and you get your hill bonus. So that's just so weird to me mentally that it's like, no, wait, you're attacking my army on a hill just because you have reinforcements who are further up the hill doesn't mean your whole army gets the hill and fort bonus. For Poland, Crusader Kings, do you mean 2 or 3? I played both, so either. But that specific example I was talking about 3. 3 had some massive improvements on 2, but I think 2 is free to play now, and both are good choices. So, yeah. But, again, that sounds like a big complaint, but it's like, again, I think the game is an 8 or 9 out of 10. It's really good. It's really, really good. It's so fun to, like, roleplay. And 3 specifically had excellent roleplay mechanics. I was so impressed because they do this thing with stress where they give your character stress. So if you get stressed, you get debuffs, or you can even die from, like, a heart attack. And you get stress from doing things that are out of character, which is such a big improvement over 2. Because if you had the greedy trait in 2, and it gave you some stewardship, which means you're good at doing money stuff, it's like, that's great. But you don't have to be a greedy asshole. Like, you don't actually have to do anything greedily. But then in 3, with that stress upgrade system, I was playing with some friends last Sunday, and I got an event that came up that said I could either spend 10 gold, which is like nothing to me, to give this village a herd of cows that would increase their development over the next 5 years and be super good. That is obviously the right choice. I could do nothing, or I could harvest their children's organs because their blood will sell well for 40 gold. And I was like, I don't need that money. I don't want to do it. But then I had greedy and I had lunatic. So I had 2 different things that were hurting me. So if I didn't harvest those children's organs, my person would have immediately went into stage 2 stress, which can kill you. And I was like, okay, I don't want to do this. I guess these peasants gotta die. I don't want to do this, but here we go. Ah, so good. So good. I'm a little sad how much Crusader Kings 3 is leaving to DLCs like 2 did. I understand they want to make their money, but like, I don't think there are even cults. Or I don't think you can found your own religion in 3 yet, which was very well established in 2 with a DLC, and I was hoping they would just give it in the base game of 3. But anyway, very good games. On to what's actually happening. Let's do the Empire build first because it looks like it's more in place. For Houseplants Empire, we have Spearmen, Swordsmen across the front line. Where are the Sigmar Sons? There are no Sigmar Sons. I am now upset. Ah, there they are. Sigmar Sons, the best boys. We have 2 handgunners in the back. We have 3 units of halberdiers. And we have 3 Empire Knights along with 2 Pistoliers, Volkmar the Dank, and a Bright Wizard with Burning Head and Fireball. Is he on foot? He is on foot. Gotcha. For the Pterodons, we have... Well, yeah. This whole faction is Pterodons now. For the Lizardmen, we have 2 Pterodons up front and 2 on the side flank. Chameleon Skinks looks like 2 units of them. Oh, shit. Now I have to pay attention. All right, we have 6 360. If we see any other 360 units, this is bad. 2 Ancient Salamanders. Oh, God, okay. 3 SEMs, that's fine. 2 Ancient Salamanders. We have Lord Mazdamundi on his chair with a net Apotheosis. Otherwise, it's just bound spells. He's King Priest of Heavens with only Thunderbolt to shoot cannons, if there are any. Postildon with Revivification Crystal. I actually really like this dinosaur. Whenever I play Lizardmen's, I've been having a ton of fun with that. Razordon Hunting Pack. Some Cold One Riders to fight Empire Cav, and 3 Chameleon Skinks in the back. 3 Skink Cohorts in the back. This is a very kitey Lizardman build. Not actually what I expected at all. Usually the Lizardman Rush actually does quite well against Empire. I have no experience with kiting Empire as Lizardmen, so I will be curious to see how this goes. Long Paul Durie, see, it makes you say sentences like if I didn't harvest those children organs, I would have gone into stage 2 stress and died. Yeah. And I'm sure no one will clip that, and like someday when I am a big famous YouTuber and I'm getting interviewed on like Conan O'Brien or some late night show, he's going to be like, there's this problematic sentence you said in 2021. You wanted to harvest children's organs? And I was like, no, I didn't want to. I had to. You clearly don't understand. I had to. Focusing again. Pistolers have been netted down. They're taking a lot of damage from the Pterodons. Ooh, lordy. And a ruination of cities comes down on top of that, and those Pistoliers are screwed. All right, they're going to run away. Handgunners have taken a lot of damage from these double sallies. Chameleon Skinks almost get run down by these Empire Knights, but it looks like Cold One Riders and Pterodons will be able to bail out this bad situation. Cold One Riders are armor-piercing, so they will be able to eat through these Empire Knights relatively effectively. And this is a rough start for the lads of Sigmar. I think this build caught Houseplant quite off guard, and he's now trying to figure out how to play it in the moment. As we can see, some slight overextensions as the net punished with those Pistoliers and etc. Excuse me 1 second. Ugh. Fall allergies are gross. Alright, Empire Knights did get a little bit wrecked by the Cold One Riders, but Spearmen have come to support, and the unit flag is way over there, but most of the unit, if you're looking, you can see them right down here. So most of that unit is safe and sound. They do have Rampage, though, as a trait, so maybe if you do enough damage, you can force that unit to just walk back into its death. Maybe. Pistolers did rally on the far side. There are so few of them, I doubt they will make a huge difference, but anything rallying is a good sign for the Empire. And how many handgun units do we still have that are healthy? I see 1. There's 1 very injured one over here. Ooh. Yeah, the Empire's going to have a hard time dealing with all this kite, I think. I think you might have to buckle up, lads. We're in for another long one. Cold One Riders are taking some shots from the handgunners, but they don't seem to mind too much. The flag for the Cold One Riders is still all the way back here with that one guy. Alright, he finally dies. And now the flag's back here with that one guy. Well, most of the units over here. Interesting. Handgunners are taking a little bit more damage from chameleon skinks, but otherwise they're just trying to push up. And this Empire build was very ready to deal with a Lizardman rush. Very, very ready. We can see all these infantry just trying to catch up. Handgunners are doing almost no damage to chameleon skinks. The terrain isn't really in their favor, but also chameleon skinks just have missile resistant dodge and other shit like that, so they're largely okay with what's going on. Pterodons are getting a little aggressive, running towards the handgunners. This other unit of handgunners is going to have to cover its friend, otherwise they will take a lot of damage. Nice little dodge there against Salamander shot by rotating, but it looks like this Pterodon might even just go into melee, or is it going to do a quick rock drop and run? It's a rock drop and run, and maybe that'll even route off the handgunners, which you can easily... Yeah, it's definitely going to route them. You can easily follow them outside the formation and kill them. Similar thing is happening over here a little bit. And if those handgunners die, I really struggle to see the Empire winning this game. Ooh, they even shattered. You don't even have to chase them. That is tragic. Handgunners are trying to get some shots off on the Pterodons. The Pterodons are flying right over them, so the unit has to keep turning around all the time, which is apparently a huge task for most units. Houseplant is in trouble. What can he do against such reckless kite? Voidlaws is getting his revenge for the Wood Elf kite of game 1, even though he won it, so I don't know if he needs revenge, but you get my gist. He's like, oh, you like kiting? You see. Well, I will kite you harder. Pistolers are trying to fire up into these Pterodon riders, but a lot of the shots are missing and just kind of slowly arcing to the ground way over here. Pterodons are going into melee with Pistoliers to try to rout them, and it looks like it might work. They're in the world's longest charge animation. There they go. They finally connected. The other handgunner has routed and is definitely not going to be able to come back. Houseplant's having a hard time catching anything. The attacking rules are very much being fulfilled by all these 360 units, chasing stuff down. Don't have to worry about that. Even though most of the army is pulling away, there's plenty of attacking rule going on. Just watching out for any issues. Void did slip up a little bit and let this handgunner come back, but it doesn't look like that mistake will cost him too much, as there are Pterodons right here to dive on top of them and quickly rout them off again. Where's the edge of the map? Edge of the map's way back there, but Voidlaws is taking a nice early path to start rotating his force, knowing that he doesn't want to get back into the corner where then you can't move as you want to. You have to follow like the line and you can actually be cut off. It's very good awareness from him. As per usual, Void playing quite well. And the Empire really just was prepared for a very different type of game. I think Houseplant's playing admirably considering what's going on, but just there is such a build advantage for the Lizardmen at this point. I don't think there's terribly much he could have done different. Now, obviously, if Houseplant played perfectly, like picture perfectly, dodged every single shot from every single thing somehow with his entire army, maybe he could win. I'm just saying, you know. If both players played of equal skill, I do think this Lizardman build would win versus this Empire build. Volkmar is feeling the sad noises. He's just been trying to get in the fight this whole game. He has 2 whole kills, and he really just wants to scrap with someone. Balanced power is slightly in favor of the Lizardmen, but the state of the game, I think, is further than that. These guys are all getting kited. How are the Sallies doing on ammo? Oh, okay, that could maybe be something. Salamanders, the main infantry clearing tool, are half and 1/3 ammunition. Oh, and a brutal net coming onto some Empire Knights, and Razordons are shooting at them. But, ooh, maybe this can get something. Empire Knights getting on top of Razordons. Razordons are super squishy. Maybe they can do some damage, but Cold One Riders are going to run in and bail this situation out, along with the Revivification Crystal, fighting these guys that are netted. If Houseplant can somehow free his Empire Knights without them breaking, which they probably will, and get over here, he could kill everything in this area with just 1 or 2 Empire Knights. But those units are routed off. This unit's going to rout very soon, and also is going to get banishment. Yep, that's tragic. We can see in the far end, it looks like some Empire Knights are also getting routed off by Cold One Knights. So very effective, very annoying build for Void Lulls, and Houseplant will concede. For Poland saying greedy is funny when you make fake coins. Yeah, dude. I always made fake coins in Crusader Kings. There was just like no reason not to. Though in 2. I haven't had that event in 3 if it exists. Void Laws, Mazdamundi got almost 1,200 value, which for a caster is very impressive. His Pterodons just got slow value over time, and they were chasing things off. Salamanders, one of them did great, one of them, but most of the Empire build, the thing about it that's weird is that most of the Empire build was still alive. It's just anything that mattered was killed. Handgunners were killed, Empire Knights were killed, Pistoliers were killed. All this other chaff was waiting to die, but Houseplant conceded because it was very over. Alright, and then Void Laws left. Which, don't do that. I need you back. Come here. Come on back. Come on back. Mr. Void Laws, please come on back. And my friends with killing smalls. I'll invite Void Laws and figure that out later. Hey, Killing Smalls is here. What is going on, my dude? In the top, we have Killing Smalls taking the spot Void Laws was on. Fighting against the man himself, Mr. Void Laws. 0-0. It's good stuff. See that. You fast. Okie dokie. Maps for this are... We will do Galbaraz. That is a large open map. MP Alpine Ridge. That is a medium map with some terrain. We need a small map so that in the first 3 games we have all 3. We'll go L'Angui. Then we can go another large map because those are the most common. Not Oakenhammer, dude. Fuck Oakenhammer. Oh, I like Southern Chaos Wastes. Southern Chaos Wastes. And then we will end on a medium map if needed. We will do... Oh, Summer Song. Void is first pick. Ban 2. Oops, shit. Void. Ban 2. No! I keep doing the team chat. Galbaraz, MP Alpine Ridge, L'Angui, Southern Chaos Waste, Summer Song. Perfect. And I need a screen blocker just in case everything gets fucked up. And we are into the finals, ladies and gentlemen. Killing Smalls, a second-time finalist in this tournament format. Fought Chosen 1 to 5 games, but is now against VM's own Void Laws. It's first time seeing Void Laws in the finals. I think he's dropped out of this tournament the other times, but maybe he did get beaten. I don't remember, honestly. But we will see. Infamously fearsome of a combatant. Quite difficult to beat in many formats. Smalls has an uphill battle. Can the Squire, that's what the S means, can the Squire for the Round Table Knights fight off? I don't know what VM stands for, so we'll say the VM-iest VM that's ever VM'd. I want to say Vampire Master. I don't know if that's what their clan actually stands for, but that seems tight. Especially with their propensity for the counts. Anyway, while I do this, I'm going to grab something to eat, like a snack or something, otherwise I'll die. And that would be a bad stream if I just died. It'd be quiet for many a long hour before someone realized something was wrong. Alright, BRB. What up? I'm back. Okay. Hank Cyrus, VM stands for Via Militaire, or the Martial Way. Jeremy says hola, and I have a granola bar and a sparkling water, so I am set for life. Oh. Fuck yeah, dude. The Martial Way. Okay. That's one way of doing it. Oh. And if anybody gives a shit, we do interviews with various faction specialists and shit. Tomb Kings got voted for the next one. So in my Discord, there's a section called Tomb Kings questions. Go in there. Throw all your questions for Tomb Kings. We're going to talk to Flying Taco. It should be a good time. We did one with Tank today. That was pretty good for Vampire Counts. It was nice of him to answer our questions. Because English isn't his first language, so probably takes a lot of effort to do a 2.5 hour interview in your second language. Hey, I'll fight you. I was very hungry. I'm just trying to eat this granola bar real quick. Mr. Cyrus, man. Hank, did you see the interview with Tank? He answered a lot of your questions. You and Neckbet, a real human being. You guys were like 70% of the questions. I hope you can't hear me chewing too much. Tried to avoid it, but I was kind of fading in that last game. Due to no energy. There was no food in my body. Well, after I got knocked out of this tournament, round 1 against Charix, another excellent player, by the way. After I got knocked out, I went back and rewatched the video with Tank. Put in all the timestamps I cared to put in, so that interview is timestamped now if you want to skip around. You know what? Haters and Hank Cyrus, I'm sorry. Can you? Wait, no, what? If you can, that's fucking annoying. Because I play the same microphones when I play with my friends. And I asked them if they could hear me eating a bowl of cereal yesterday, which is definitely louder. And they said the only thing they could hear was the spoon hitting the side of the bowl. So unless my streaming software really jacks up the sensitivity of this microphone, y'all are full of shit. Regardless, I'll mute while I finish this. You assholes. All right, I'm back. It's done. It's done. I did clearly have a full mouth because my mouth was full. I'm not that good. I'm not like a ventriloquist that I can like throw my voice somewhere else. What you heard is what you get. But we're into game 1. Killing smalls, void lulls. Oh, that's really fun to say, actually. Oh, Hadries, you trolled me. Dude, Aristodemos. What? Hold on now. I'm not that good. Okay, yeah. Long Paul Dury almost got me. Aristodemos freaked me the fuck out in my tank interview today. Because, like, there were 2 different times. One at the very start, he said he couldn't hear tank, but he could hear tank. And I was, like, trying to troubleshoot behind the scenes what was wrong with tank's microphone, but nothing was actually wrong. I was just getting trolled. And that was really stressful because Tank was answering a question. I didn't focus on what he was saying, so I was trying to fix a non-existent problem. And then later he said the stream crashed. Around the same time, someone else was saying something about problems. And I'm like, what? And then I went there, and I was watching the stream on my other screen, and it was fine. And like 2 different times, Aristodemos gave me a fucking heart attack. All right. We have Wood Elves versus Beastmen again. And the RTK player is again playing Wood Elves and determined to defeat the Beastmen. Got it. Glade Riders with Spears and Great Stagnites, watching out for any Vanguard attempts, more Glade Riders, and Wild Riders with Shields. This is a very similar build to what we saw, except instead of two Glade Riders were cut, maybe 3, I forget, for 2 Hawk Riders this time. And we have a Spellsinger of Life in the sky and a Sister of Twilight in the sky. 422 models. Okay. On the Beastman side, Void is taking... I like this. This is smart. He switched up his build a little bit. So he cut maybe some Centaurs. Oh, he cut the Tuskor Chariots entirely. Cut the Tuskor Chariots entirely. Put his Bray Shaman of Wilds on foot. Took Morgar the Shadowgave instead of Taurox. And he took 3 Younger Raiders. So just in case his opponent saw his build, I think this is very smart to have at least 2 builds for every matchup. And this one, it might be that he just adjusted from seeing that what the sisters did to a Tuskor Chariot made him not want to take another one. Maybe. But in general, you should have 2 or 3 builds for every matchup that you feel confident in. Because if another player sees what your build is and it's the only one you got, they will just counter build it. Because any faction in the game can beat any other faction in the game, except for 2 examples I can think of, if you know exactly what you're fighting before the game starts. Hey, Dries Aristo does good work trolling. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Sister's getting zoned out by some throwing axes. The Glade Riders with Hagbane tips should pull up here and easily outtrade the Centaurs, but they're mostly just trying to keep the Sisters away from the casters. Again, we see Traderkin and aspect of the Dread Knight. This time we don't see the Bray Scream as much. For the Life caster, again, we have Dwellers in Earthblood. Pretty standard stuff. Pretty standard stuff. Oh. Hadries, dude, it's hard, man. It's hard. Sorry, they're just skirmishing, and I'll get back to it. But so far, the words I'm going to say won't matter. They're just going to shoot at each other and dodge. Hadries, dude, the next interview, if it was Skaven, I was trying to debate between you and Chosen One, and it's just like, man, you both would be such great guests, and I want to talk to both of you. But Chosen One volunteered, and I was like, sure, it doesn't matter, I have to pick someone, but I would have loved to hear your thoughts on Skaven. But then, like, if I had picked you and not Chosen One, I would have said the exact same thing about Chosen One, like, man, it's going to be great to talk to Hadries, but I would have loved to get Chosen One's thought on Skaven. So, I mean, we haven't done the interview yet. Maybe I'll invite both of you, and I don't know, but just Skaven fanboying, just trying to meet all my heroes. Anyway, back onto the skirmishing thing. You've all been watching it. There's really not too much to comment on. Wood Elves are shooting their precious arrows, trying to hit things that matter. The Beastmen are presenting to them the only things that they don't think matter. Manticores are staying safe. Lords are all staying safe. Centaurs are relatively staying safe. And now something interesting is happening. Wild Riders are running in on the already wounded Spearman unit, just trying to shock it down to officially get rid of it. The Manticore is trying to fight the Hawk Riders, but I don't think that's a winning fight for him, honestly. Ooh, with 2 Manticores and Archer support it might be, and this is a big mistake by the Wood Elves, especially if that Trader Kid is coming in. Oh, no! Oh, the humanity. Oh, lordy. That's fucking tragic. Alright. One of those Hawk Riders is definitely going to rout, probably never come back. The other one is also very, very injured, and they need healing if it exists. But I guess with 3 skirmish cap to help zone, maybe they will come back, because you can just follow those Manticores around and do a ton of damage. But that was a big pick by the Beastmen. Ooh, and the Wood Elves try to take this fight over here. They will rout off these Spearman herds, but at what cost do they get rear charged by Centaurs? 3 Archer units are punishing them for this, and oh no! Oh no! The Wood Elves are suffering mass casualties. And they don't have the mass to be casualtied. Chaos Spawn show up. I doubt that was by choice. I think that was from a unit being so injured, though I wonder what that unit would be. Maybe it was by choice. I don't really know. Great Stag Knights charge into this big old blob. There's not too much they can do about it unless there's Dwellers Below in here. Is this Dwellers Below bait? It doesn't look like it is. It looks like that was serious, so... I have to imagine that these guys came in with some support, and that support turned into a Chaos Spawn. Wild Riders with shields are just suffering massive punishment, and the Wood Elves are just... Every fight they're taking has been so painful for them. These Glade Riders with spears are going to get rear charged over here. Oh no. Oh lord. Oh, the humanity. Feral Manticore is fighting with some Hawk Riders in melee, which is good for him, I guess. But you can see the balance power is very heavily in the Wood Elf, Beastman favor, sorry. And another Chaos Spawn summon comes up, so I think that was a summon earlier, and this one is the one that replaced the Great Stag Knights, because I don't see any Great Stag Knights anymore. So I think they all did die. Without them, the Wood Elves are very far out of the balance of power. Hawk Riders don't have nearly enough ammo to kill everything on this map, even if they weren't getting attacked by Manticores and Archers constantly. The Skirmish Cav are getting a nice little gooning attempt on the Feral Manticore. That is a really good play, but it's a drop in the ocean at this point, and the Beastmen tide will not be stopped. Hadri saying, you're the Skaven rep for Faction War now? Do the Council proud? Dude, I'm trying. I mentioned at the start of the stream when there was like 4 whole people here, but I'm so stressed about tomorrow. I gotta face my own clanmate in Skaven versus Empire, and he knows my Skaven builds for that matchup, and I am so worried I'm just gonna get rolled. We'll see. We'll see. I have some good builds for it, I just... You know, that thing I literally said at the start of this game where if your opponent knows your build, they can just counter build you. I do have 2 builds, so at least he has to debate between 2 things, but I'd prefer it if you didn't know them at all. But you can't have everything in life. Yeah. Alright, Killing Smalls. Didn't have enough time for Sisters to get a ton of value. Yeah, nothing on his army got crazy good value. That Traderkin caster got almost 1,000 value off of maybe 2 spells. 1 or 2. Nuking down those expensive-ass Hawk Riders. Yeah, it's a good build from Void for dealing with Wood Elf Kite. Just throw so much shit at them they can't hope to deal with it. Alright, MP Alpine Ridge. Le maps set. Next 3 are Le Angui. It's Cliff of Beasts. No. Southern Chaos Space, Summer Song. That's just so we don't have to scroll as far. And at some point the chat starts deleting itself. so I don't want the maps to get deleted, and then I'm like, well, I forgot what they were. And the players want to, pick their factions based on that. All right. So first round, both teams pick 1, ban 2. Second round being games 3 and 4. But you only get to ban 1 that time because the factions are less, and then game 5 is the same: pick 3, ban 1, etc. Surprise Eschen Rush, they'll never see it coming. I tried to make the Eschen Rush work for so long, and I just couldn't against Empire. You do so well the first 10 seconds of the game, and then everything else goes to absolute shit. Alright. So Void Lulls is up 1-0, and Killing Smalls is going on to their beloved Empire to try and get some momentum back in this series. Banning Vampire Counts and Dwarves. Now, just in case of stream sniping, I know another matchup that this player specifically hates, but I won't say it until after the faction is picked, just because, if stream sniping is a thing, I don't want to help one side or the other. Because I have inside knowledge, because, you can figure out from the clan tags, but I hang out with Killing Smalls a decent amount. Super cool dude, by the way. You can find Killing Smalls wherever there's a voice chat. I know he hangs out in the PE server sometimes. Turin's chat sometimes. Logic's server sometimes. Smalls bouncing around. If you see him, talk to him. Really cool dude. Has a very different take on builds. So. Could show you some stuff. He showed me some stuff and, I don't want to give away too much, but there are certain matchups that have been played a very specific way for as long as I've played this game. And then Smalls showed me a couple of units that make it very, very different than what I thought. And I wonder when other people will catch on. So he's very good. All right. Still waiting on this pick from Void. Again, I know what faction Smalls doesn't want to see, but I don't want to say it till Void locks in something. All right. Void hates... Killing Smalls hates Chaos in this matchup. Which is why I was frankly surprised to see he didn't go... I know he likes to ban Vampire Counts and Chaos rather than Dwarves. And he was playing a game before the stream started... And I was chilling with the RTK lads. And he was playing Empire versus Dwarves. And he won that one. I think it was against... Who was he playing? It was a good player. Caradoc, yeah. And Caradoc kicks my ass most of the time we fight. So he's a very good player. And Smalls beat the Empire Dwarf matchup. So he has some tech there that would be interesting to see. But it looks like he's not confident he can do that against Void. And also Void and Caradoc are of the same clan, so I think Smalls might be thinking Void knows what he would bring. But it's interesting stuff. Robane Fantasy. Hi, XXX Skaven Slaver 69XXX. That's my Pornhub account, but welcome to YouTube, I guess. Dude, I think, one, having only 255 subscribers, no one gives a shit. But I think if I ever get bigger, one of the problems I'm going to run into is I'm going to need to curb the swearing and shit. And I really don't want to do that. I don't know where YouTube cares. Sometimes YouTube cares, sometimes it doesn't. Because, there are so many things they don't like. And then... I used to play a lot of League of Legends. I got up to Diamond 2. I still watch the pro League of Legends scene. I don't really watch sports, so I watch that instead. And there's a very popular streamer called Sneaky. And he has tons of subscribers, up in the hundreds of thousands, if not, a million at this point. And he's very popular, and he swears all the time. Like, every sentence he swears. But then, and he's fine. He makes tons of money. He's totally fine. But then, like, YouTube's saying, oh, don't swear on your streams. We'll, like, demonetize you. Or don't say anything, like, dumb or crude. We'll demonetize you. And, like, Turin's super family-friendly. So I'm like, where did we draw the line? Whatever. Doesn't matter. Right now we have 15 whole viewers and 255 subs, so I don't think I have to worry about that for a long time. Alright, Void's playing Greenskins. My girlfriend made me tone down the swearing. I'm sorry, dude. Sorry to hear that. Oh. But you stream over on Twitch, don't you, Robain? Anyway. Yep, Greenskins Void usually takes 6 Skirmish Cav, a River Troll Hag, a Spirit Leech, and Grom the Paunch. No matter the matchup, I would be curious to see if something different happened here, but I doubt it. I don't know if you take Stone Trolls into Empire. They have 550 gold. Armor-piercing Halberdiers. Outriders are very effective against Stone Trolls. Huntsmen are very effective against Stone Trolls. I don't know if he'll take him here, but we'll see. I'm still predicting to see 6 Skirmish Cav, River Troll Hag, Spirit Leech, and Grom. Empire. Probably Volkmar. Probably. He's still very good, obviously. He's always good. I wouldn't hate seeing Franz. Though with Myther... Oh, dude. Myther could really mess up Franz. I was just thinking, I'm like, man, if Karl Franz could get on top of Grom, he would put the herd on him really quick. But imagine him getting... imagine him charging and then getting Mythered. And Grom could maybe even outrun him at that point. But then, like, some Stone Trolls or something gets ready for him. And he lands and he just dies. Ugh. It'd be tragic. Got somebody rooting for Smalls in the chat. Mr. Robain. Robain Fantasy. Robain, is General Eisenbart doing any tournaments anymore? I haven't heard anything for a while. Am I just misinformed, or has he been a little quiet? I would be curious, because I think you casted for him a couple times, if I remember correctly. My son HW also showed up this weekend. So we had Turin doing some stuff. We had HW doing some stuff. We had Murphalurf doing things, me doing things. I did 2 different streams today. And we have BBB Cool Umbrella hosting a tournament later tonight, if I'm not mistaken. It's in like 9 minutes. And then Faction Wars tomorrow. A lot of shit going on this weekend. It's good to see because I love the game, but it is sad that we've gone so long without a patch. I'll have to look at when the thing is. Anyway, for Smalls... I think that's okay. Hold on. Okay. Hold on a second. Battle of the Titans. Okay. Whatever. We'll see how this formation plays out, but I'm a little concerned about the white line here. Not because the white line is too close, but because that cannon is close to, like, this, and I can't tell where things can walk, because if things can't walk there, then it's only that far from the white line, which is way too close. But if things can walk all the way here, it's still pretty close. I'll probably tell him to move that cannon up. Okay. I'll tell him to move that cannon up a little bit. Okay. I have informed them, and if that cannon doesn't move up, that'll be a problem, but they've been informed that that's too close. because the white line is way back here, which is fine, but this terrain piece is impassable. So the white line, as far as rules go, is this. And in that case, that cannon's only that far from the white line, which isn't okay. But I didn't want to say move up your cannon in the chat, otherwise that tells Void Lulls that the Empire has artillery pieces and that they're not rushing him. Alright, I should talk about the armies, but I had to do that. We have 2 Demigryph Knights, neither of which with halberds. We have 1 Empire Knight, Great Cannon, Spearmen, Shields as the front line with some Sigmar Sons. You'll love to see the boys. More Empire Knights, and are those Pistoliers or Outriders? Pistoliers all across the board. We have Marcus Wolfhart with his net. Ooh, neither of his abilities. Interesting, not even the Amber Bow. And we have a Jade Wizard with Dwellers Below and Regrowth with a Warrior Priest on horseback to buff the Cavalry Blob. I have not seen the Empire Cavalry Blob versus Greenskins ever. This will be very exciting. For Void Lulls, we only have 2 Goblin Wolf Rider Archers. That is 4 less than I predicted. Love to see some new shit. We have 2 Orc Boar Chariots. We have the Ragnarok Queen, Goblin Big Boss, Grom the Paunch, Orc Shaman on a pig with Brainbuster, and Foot of Gork. Yeah, Foot of Gork. We have 2, 3 Orc Boar Boys in the back and a front line of Goblins with the ROR Night Goblins. Okay. Yep, we're good. And that cannon is now plenty far away from the white line, because now, as I said earlier, we're measuring it to that white line, which that's a lot of space. But earlier, a little close. Yo, where can I change to have the draw tools? I'm just going to type in chat. Hold on. Draw tools and patch. Note for me. Those are things I want to talk about after this game, but I can't right now because of things. Pistolers are going to advance. Where are those Demigryphs? Those Demigryphs are going to have to carry a lot of work here. They will do excellently against the Orc Boar Chariots, I have to imagine. And they will murder the Orc Boar Boy Cav. I'm worried that a Ragnarok Queen could be a little hard for this build to kill. But that being said, she's Cowardly Spider. She only has 74 leadership as an ROR with triple gold chevrons. So if they rout her, it doesn't matter if you don't kill her. Per se. Cannon's trying to get some free shots on the Ragnarok Queen. Pistoliers getting a little close to some spider hatchlings, but they will pull away just fine. Grom is running over here. Now, all these Demigryph Knights are hidden. If they can somehow surprise Grom, and if Void Lulls forgets where Grom is or just trusts that he's safe, that could be a lot of damage, but that's, you know, that relies on Void Lulls fucking up, and that's not something he usually does. Oh, but maybe! Demigryph Knights are piling in, and a cannon takes out like 3 Empire Knights. Ouch. Marcus Wolfhard shooting at some Orc Boar Boys who are running straight at the cannon. He has to cast a net right now, and that he does. What is around to bail out this cannon? Some Spearmen are kind of coming over, but Demigryph Knights are right on top of Grom the Paunch. He pops Axe of Grom and the Lucky Banner to try to survive this. Orc Boar Boys also charge in. These Demigryph Knights are getting fucked up. That Warrior Priest needs to come up right now with those buffs. And maybe they can hold on with more Demigryph Knights charging in. If Grom the Paunch gets gooned out right away, that will probably be the death knell for the Greenskins. Marcus Wolfhard doing a ton of damage to an Orc Boar Chariot. And this is a terrible engagement for the Greenskins and a great boon for the Empire. But a Foot of Gork coming in, doing so much damage to all this elite cavalry. Oh, Grom the Paunch is down to half health. He is very wounded. His Orc Boar Boys have shattered, but so many Empire Knights are running off and Demigryph Knights are running off. That was an excellent Foot of Gork. The Great Cannons are shut down already. The Empire's infantry are fighting their best. Pistolers are running around very healthy, very fine. But I think it all hinges on whether or not they can finish off Grom, because if Grom lives, he'll just regen through this, and then this was all for nothing, and that was a massive loss if he does not die. The Ragnarok Queen joining in is also pretty bad for the Empire forces. You can see these Demigryph Knights are now going to tear her out. They are running, and I think that is a critical play for the Greenskins. I thought for a bit Grom could get caught, but Foot of Gork coming in and taking out all of those tools. Pistoliers are chasing Wolf Riders into the corner, which is normally a good play, but now look at this. Void Lulls has surrounded him on all sides, and if he gets anything to rout here, it will immediately go straight off the map. So I don't think that was an intentional trap, but I think that's a good capitalizing on what was presented. Demigryph Knights are running back in, trying to get back into the fight. Marcus Wolfhard's still firing in, but Grom is doing okay. Empire greenskins, is this, and it's not a spice build? Consider me insulted. Glorious Feeder saying nice net. Yep, that's a greenskin win. Yeah. Okay, did Void just nuke his own cav? No, Glenn. Void technically nuked one Orc Boar Boy, but he hit 2 Demigryph Knights and 1 Empire Knight with that, so I think that is definitely a worthwhile trade. That will be GG. Smalls is already calling it in the chat, and I agree. I liked that build a lot, and I liked the idea behind it. But man, that Foot of Gork really turned things around. Jesus. I did like that a lot, though. That was spicy. Even in the brief amount of time they were allowed to fight, the Demigryphs got great value, considering that one almost got 1,000, the other got like 600. For fighting for all of 5 seconds. And Wolfheart's there. He did fine. Yeah, he did fine. 800 on Grom, 1,300 on the Foot of Gork caster. Goblins did fine. Our War Goblins did okay. Boar Boys struggled, but they were mostly there to bail out Grom. Ragnar Queen did great. GG, well played. Indeed. Alright, maps Le Angui. Void, pick 1, ban 1. Map set. We have Le Angui, Southern Chaos Wastes, and Summer Song. South Chaos Wastes, Summer Song next. Alright, I gave myself a note to do some stuff, didn't I? Blocker. Change this to 2-0 for Void Lols. We will see if Killing Smalls can rally. So draw tools and patch. Okay. Yeah, I remember what I was going to talk about for that. Left screen, go to Google. And I did set the maps. The players don't need me to do anything for a bit. When was the Silence and the Fury? Released on July 14th. So we've almost had the game in this state for 2 months, and we still don't have a patch. I'm starting to wonder if a hotfix is coming. I've heard rumors that it'll be mid-September from people, but it's not like rumors from anybody within CA. It's just rumors of people being hopeful. So we'll see, because we're thinking that maybe Troy got dropped. 1 second, sorry. Void, only 1 ban. You can repick. Or not if Smalls doesn't care. Yeah, sorry. On the other screen, the players... Okay, then we go forward. Void picked 1 and banned 2. And in round 3 and 4, it's only ban 1. Because in a best of 5, your faction pool can get a little limited. Anyway, we've been going for like 2 months without a patch, and that's pretty sad. As for Robane... debugged camera... Shit. There it is. And then I have to look for one I already did. Yeah, this is it. Okay. I will link that to Mr. Robane. So for anybody who wants the debug camera like I have with all the brushes and shit, go to this video by Party Elite. Total Warhammer 2, set up debug camera, cinematic camera, and tactical brushes. It just lets you move your camera however you want, and it gives you the brush access at all times. The downside of it is that you can go through the map, and it can take a little bit to get used to how the map controls feel. But anyway, for anybody who wants that. Back on the screen, the drama I was dealing with was Void pick Vampire Counts, ban Dark Elves and High Elves, very good bans. And Killing Smalls pick Bretonia. I pointed out that you can only have 1 ban. Killing Smalls said they didn't care, and that both players agreed to continue with this matchup. So now, if Void Laws wins this, and I know Killing Smalls as a person, and I very strongly doubt that they would contest something. But anyway, yeah. Maybe if these were different players or something, after the game, the player would be like, well, Void banned 2, and I couldn't do that. It's like, well, I got it out of the way. Both of you agreed this was fine. Is this the hour we see some Bretonnia action? It looks like it is. Vampire counts versus... Oh, wait. Hold on. Click. Good. I forgot to mention the corpse cart thing, but it looks like Void is not going to have a problem with that at all. Nah, CA current year said the game was fine. That's true. What sucks... And I've talked to some players about this, and I mentioned it in other videos. So if you watch a lot of my videos, you're going to hear this again. Super sorry. What sucks is that the balance of the game right now is maybe, depending on who you ask, but maybe the best it's ever been if you don't count the bugs. And what sucks is there are so many bugs, so many, and they're so bad that it's actually one of the worst states the game's ever been in. But, like, it's so... Like, for once, CA was so close to actually getting balance. This concept that's apparently impossible for them. Right. And they were like, all right, Grom is not as overpowered. He's strong. He's still very strong. But he's not as overpowered. Greenskin Skirmish Cav got tuned down a little. Poison got tuned down a little. Chameleon Skinks got a cost increase. Like... The world is gonna get to a better place, maybe. Except for fucking they nerfed Norse Gamora and I hate them. But whatever, like, they're getting closer. And then they're like, alright, we did it, guys. And then Gary in the back goes, what if that chariot stack on top of each other? And they're like, you know what? Fuck yeah, Gary. Let's let chariots stack on top of each other. I don't see what could possibly go wrong with that. And then now we have whatever this shit is. Where chariots are weird, massless ghosts that float through your front line as if it wasn't there. And single-entity chariots can stack on top of each other, and you can fit like 20 corpse carts in the same spot, and they can all attack at the same time, making them really, really difficult to deal with. And CAY. I'm not mad. Glenn saying, listening to lo-fi, see, hell yeah. Lo-fi is my getting some shit done music. And, ladies and gentlemen, I have gotten some shit done. You won't know what I got done for about 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. But if everything goes well in 2 weeks, I will have a fun announcement for anybody who cares about that sort of thing. I think. I do have to check something really quick. Okay, cool. Anyway. Have I told you about the Legend of the Emperor Edition patch? Maybe, Robane. Maybe. For Void Lulls, we don't really have to worry about the Corpse Cart spam because he has none besides his 2 heroes. He has a Necromancer with the Rod of Doom. Forbidden Rod. Invocation to Heck, and a Zombie Summon. Then we have Helmengorst with, it looks like nothing. And a Vampire of Shadows with Pit of Shades and Pendulum. Ooh, very interesting. Very spicy Vampire Counts build, actually. So Gorst has no spells on him. He's actually just a mana battery and a Mortis Engine. Maybe it's to diversify your target, so if one thing gets gooned, the game isn't over. It requires Smalls to attack 2 different things. Other than that, we have 2 Blood Knights, 3 Fellbats. Looks like 1 Direwolf unit, unless there are more hidden I don't know about. Some Skeleton Warriors and Zombies in the front line. Double Vargulf. And the Vampire of Shadows we noted earlier. Very cool build from the Vampire Counts. I am quite excited to see it. On the other side, we have Grail Knights, Grail Guardians, Companions of Quenell's Questing Knights with Anthe Large, and more Grail Knights. Men-at-Arms shields on the flanks, the Peasant Mob front line, protecting Peasant Bowmen with fire arrows, 1 Pox arrow and 1 regular, double Paladin, and the Fey Enchantress. She has Dwellers Below and Lifeblood. Let's see if Killing Smalls can win this game. I am not rooting for Killing Smalls because they're my clanmate. I am rooting for Killing Smalls so we don't have a 3-0 final. I like more games. Early impressions, I think Void's build is very good. The double Vargulf, you really want to use your arrows on the double Vargulf. You want to use them on the Necromancer. You want to use them on Helm and Gorst, and that's a lot of things for 4 archers to deal with. Maybe Grail Knights can beat up Vargulfs. I don't know how that interaction goes, but I imagine they could. But I imagine also if a Grail Knight gets on top of a Vargulf, it's going to get countercharged by Blood Knights, and then that bad boy is just going to run back to Helm and Gorst and get healed up. So I don't know if it is going to help you very much. Helm and Gorst and the Necromancer are sitting right on top of each other. Just going to team up and use them powerful, bugged-ass corpse card stats. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. It's going to be the Fey Enchantress Double Paladin Blob versus the Necromancer Corpse Cart Blob. Which blob is more interactive? We will find out. Actually, very similar troop counts, too. So Felbats have free reign on the skies, just running around. They can get on top of the Peasant Bowmen, but right now there's no real angles of fire through the woods here. That's probably not going to hit very solidly. And that's very annoying for Killing Smalls, because either you keep one of these expensive-ass cavalry pieces right next to your archers to peel off Felbats whenever they hop down, and you don't use them everywhere else on the battlefield you need to, or you run them out there and leave your archers completely exposed, so that's going to be a little tough. But Fey Enchantress, Paladin's running out getting some free value. Archer's got some great value on the Vargulf. It is going to heal up, but damage is damage. Take it if you can get it. And Grail Knights charge straight into Blood Knights, and they immediately get favor of the Fey, and it looks like there's some Mortis Engine draining going on top of these Blood Knights. They take a lot of damage. And these Grail Knights, it looks like they traded about even, all things said and done, but the double Vargulf are turning around. They're getting back in there, and I wonder if this could be a good spot. Oh, Pit of Shades is coming down. Pit of Shades from the Vampire Counts. Gonna catch all these cav units. Not doing terribly much damage. I mean, it's good damage, but it's not like a Dwellers or anything. Dwellers would have wrecked everything here. Now the archers are firing in, and these Blood Knights have taken a lot of damage. They will heal up, but these Vargulfs are having a harder time getting out of here, and one of them has taken a crap ton of damage. Felbats have now activated their ambush protocol, popping in here to try to disrupt some of this Peasant Bowman fire and give the Vargulfs a moment to scrap. Logic EU popping in, saying hello. Hello, my friend! How are you today? You're like the only person that didn't run a tournament on this day. Apparently it's a popular time. That Vargulf is very injured, but it will run away. It will heal up. Its healing cap is now within sight, and the Paladins and the Grail Knights are still pushing in, doing a lot more damage to that Vargulf as well. Peasant mobs are trying to peel off these dogs, but they don't have it in them, and both the archers and the dogs, archers and the mob will be peeled off. 2 Felbats teaming up on this one, and a lot of the archers for Bretonnia have been shut down. A lot of their infantry is back with their archers. So really, it's these Grail Knights and Companions of Quenelles all out by themselves fighting most of this. And it's going okay for them. Balance power is relatively even. I think the Vampire Counts are in a bit of a winning trade at the moment. That Pit of Shades was a good cast, but we'll see what the Fey Double Paladin can do against the Double Corpse Cart strength, I guess I'll call it. I don't know. Everything's dumb. Chalice Potion's coming down. If it does that dumb thing where it sometimes goes off the center of the circle, it'll actually do a lot of damage to Grail Knights, but instead it goes into the Vampire Counts, making their retreat meaningless. And that was a lot of damage to infantry. That Necromancer's healing cap is already within sight. Fey Double Paladin has been doing a lot of work over here, and I wonder if Smalls is going to keep up the aggression, keep following around Helm and Gorst and the Necromancer. Do what you can over there. The backline has kind of fallen apart for Bretonnia a little bit. They have 2 archers online still, but Blood Knights have gotten... I guess Grail Guardians are on top of them, and Grail Knights are chasing off these dogs. All right, Killing Smalls is scrapping back pretty well, and that's going to be a Dwellers. It will kill a lot of things. It will be very juicy. I know nothing in here is that valuable, but Smalls has to kill everything eventually. So Dwellers coming in, doing a lot, and if it can clear up this chaff, that'll actually leave Helm and Gorst very exposed, and then the Double Paladin and Fey can goon them out. There's a rear charge coming in from the Companions of Quenelles on top of these Blood Knights. We're also fighting Grail Guardians. That's a good play, and more Grail Knights coming back in, and I feel like Bretonnia has taken this mid to late game very, very well. The early game was rough for them. Helm and Gorst, healing cap in sight, low on health. Fey Enchantress blocking him up a bit so the Double Paladins can try to get some swings in. He summons another zombie to try to protect him, but the Vargulf is going to have to come back in and try and bail him out, and bail him out it certainly will. Paladins looking like they're missing a lot of attacks there, crucial attacks on Helm Gorst that they did not land. Gorst is healing up, and now Faye is in trouble. She's down to half health, and there's more support nearby for the vampire counts than there is for the Bretonnians. Grail Knights are still bouncing around trying to take care of some things, trying to get these dogs and fell bats. Archers are rallying in the far side. I think if the Fey double paladin blob can somehow get out of here and run back, the rest of the field's actually going pretty okay for Bretonnia. Maybe they can try and salvage their peasants, but it looks like the exact opposite is happening. Smalls is abandoning his winning engagement in the back versus the chaff and diving into the crucial engagement on the front line, deciding that taking out the vampire count's expensive units is more important. But you can see the bounce powers going against the Bretonnians, and the vampire counts will be pulling quite ahead. The second Vargulf has re-entered the fight, very well regened up. Helm Gorst is still quite healthy. Necromancer approaching its healing cap, but quite healthy as well, and the Paladins just have not been able to land the hits they wanted to onto Helm Gorst. You're playing in the BBB sub-faction tournament. You thought we'd pop in and say, hey, and right now, everybody's doing tournaments. Good luck, Logic, in the sub-faction tournament. All right. Faye Enchantress got 2,000 value, which was excellent from her. Paladins paid for themselves, which is fine, but other than that, actually some peasant mobs paid for themselves, which is pretty funny. But peasants otherwise got largely run over. Grail Knights struggled to get their value back. Grail Guardians struggled as well, and the Companions of Quenelles had a hard time also. Vargulfs were quite good. This one got shreked a little bit, but the other one did fine. Dogs did excellently. Blood Knights traded quite well. And zombies died for the die. Died for the die god. Gorst being Gorst, and this vampire with her Shadows magic got 1,500 value. That was a pretty good game. Both players left. And now I'm lonely. Alright, Void Laws wins it. Void Laws wins it. We will have one more qualifier for this tournament. I don't know when just yet. Hopefully next weekend. Hopefully. The weekends are the best so that more people could play. But sooner is better than later. Other than that, folks, I don't know what to tell you. I will just awkwardly